welcome back to Crafters TV. I hope you are having a fabulous day. Happy Hump Day. It's Wednesday, isn't it? Yeah, happy Hump Day. It's Wednesday. It's a really exciting Wednesday as well because we've got a brand new launch for you. You saw a sneaky peek of it in the earlier Wake Up Card show a little earlier today. It is, of course, this, a brand new Say It With Style. And it's all about you, which is amazing. Loads of you went for it in the earlier show. It's a beautiful selection of products. It's the perfect expansion to your original Say It With Style, which is wonderful. And a lady that always says it with style is back with me, Debby Robinson. I'm loving your dress, Debbie.
It's like I've been foil pressed.
It is, isn't it?
I think I've been honestly, I've been through that foil press. You know how much I love a foil press. But thank you very much, Joe. You're very
glorious.
sweet.
What an exciting new launch we've got today.
This is super exciting because it really is saying it with style, but we're extending it. We're bringing in a new set of stamps that are going to fit in with your original Say It With Style for all you lovely, gorgeous people out there that got this earlier on in the year. It's like an add-on family to it. I did say that this is what we were going to be aiming towards, where we were going to be bringing some more different sentiments in, because we all need them. And we all need the die cut element too, because it just makes life so much easier.
It does.
And you get it all done in one fell swoop.
So wonderful. It's something that grows with you as well, Debbie, that you've already bought the sort of main nuts and bolts of the collection. Now we offer you the expansion, so you're getting all these extra sentiments, but you've already got the sort of main element of the collection, which is wonderful. It's busy on this already, Debbie. I'm not surprised.
I am not surprised. Not surprised, Joe. It's absolute. Honestly, I can't wait to get started. And I know we're having an hour now, and then we've got our lovely Sandra coming up later.
We have,
and then we're going
indeed.
to come back. But I want to try and show you some different ways that you can use them. Like I said, we all need to Say It With Style when it comes to card making, gift boxes, tags, scrapbook layouts, whatever it is that you want to do. This is the finishing touch. This is that little extra bit that you go where you say what you want to say, and obviously with style, because there's some beautiful sentiments on this latest one. For those watching that haven't got the original, don't worry, because we've got that covered, because we had to bring it into the show just for the people that may be new to watching us here at Crafters TV. Might be the first time you've found us. You might have accidentally just been scrolling through Facebook and found us randomly, or on YouTube. It happens. But honestly, if you have not seen this amazing concept that we've done and what we've brought to the world of crafting, then this is an absolute belter to have. It really is. I consider it to be
belter.
A belter. What did you think I said?
A belter. Really is an absolute belter.
Did I go a little bit different then?
No, I just think it's a great word. It's a good
well, I call it my stonker then, because I call it a stonker.
You call it your stonker. maybe we'll go with belter, Debbie. I think stonker. Yeah.
It's an
maybe bring some slightly other connotations. I'll quickly give you the details, and then we'll get through Debbie's stonker. This one here, then. Details are there on your screen. $24.99 or $29.95 gets you to Say It With Style. All about you. And look at what you're all getting in here then. The two brand new stamp plates in here, which have got all of these brand new sentiments on here for you. You've got twine included, your card blanks, envelopes. You've got the panels to allow you to stamp out onto. And you're also getting dies in here too. So there's lots of different ways that you're going to be able to use it, creating these wonderful sentiments, of course, in the panels that you already have. So things in here like you got this, you are loved, especially for you. We've got true love in here as well. Love makes the world go around also. They really are brilliant. $19.99 or $23.96 if you are a platinum member. If you've already placed your order, I'd love to hear from you. I'd also love to hear from you if you've got the original Say It With Style as well, because I'd love to know how you've been getting on with it, what sort of things you've been creating, how generally you've found it. You can do all of that over at Crafters TV on Facebook or Crafters Companion over on YouTube. We'll have an hour with Debbie, and then Sandra will be here with all things Sanntangle. That'll be in an hour's time, so 3 o'clock in the UK, 10 a.m. East Coast, and then we'll have another hour of the launch day again after that, which will be wonderful. It's going to be an action-packed day. You get a lot in here, don't you, for your money, Debbie? I was going to say you get a lot of bang for your buck, but I thought it'd just tip us over the head this morning. But yeah, you get a lot in here for the money, don't you? You really do, and it is a lovely... Actually, to be fair, the price that you see on the screen without your club membership is absolutely amazing anyway for what you're getting, because don't forget the main part of this is part of that Say It With Style original set.
But again, it's absolutely amazing when you look at the price and then you see all the extra bits that you're getting, because this alone is worth the price there that you see on the screen. Now this is fabulous. I'll talk about these stamp panels. This may be the first time that you've stumbled along the Say It With Style. I will show the original box just in a second, but this is all about you. And if you have got the original one, you'll see that it's all tabbed for you, ready to stick into your ring binder, and your section there is all about you. And the lovely sentiments on here match something that I am going to show you straight away, because it makes more sense, because when I read some of these sentiments out, you're probably thinking there's something missing. So is in the air. Well, what's in the air? Anything could be in the air, but absolutely, love is in the air. So honestly, just lovely sentiments. So sent with, well, what's sent with? Sent with love. So this all makes sense as to why we've put these two, and these are lovely size dies as well. These aren't no little dies. This is a really nice size, beautiful font to it as well. As with all of the stamps that are on this stamp plate sheet, I call it. It's just like a stamp panel. They're not individuals. So if you've never used it before, this is a full sheet full of stamps with the markings on, ready for the plate that's in the original kit. And I love this because, again, you've got happy birthday to you.
Marvellous.
Let me have a look. Oh, look. Love is a million little things. Love that one. That's really nice. Thinking of you. Well, obviously you are invited. You are enough, Joe. Love that nice, one. That's a nice one. Let's read some more on here. Love this one. This was when I met you. Love at first sight. Oh. Fell in love with you the minute I met you. Oh, thank you. I genuinely mean that. You know I do, because I've said it to you a million times. But again, on the other side,
make me blush.
Oh, bless you. On the other side, you've got all the rest of it. So these are the banner part, which will make sense with your ring binder and your metal dies, which again we'll go through in a second. But you've got all the rest on here. So let's have a look. What have we got on here? This one I did this morning, which was "You are my best friend in the world." Aww. I love that one. You are loved. Let's have a look. Oh, look, true love. You make my day, especially for you. Listening to Kylie and Jason then in my head.
Amazing.
But honestly, lots and lots of lovely ones in there, all on their tab, ready for you to use, to go into your, it will fit in your ring binder perfectly. Very easy to use, and we're going to show you that with the demos that are coming up later on in the show. However, that's not all you're getting with this bundle deal that you see on the screen. And this is what I love about it. I love the extra bit. So you've seen the dies. So the dies work with the stamps. And like I said, straight away, the value of the $24.99 that you see on the screen, minus your Club Inspire membership, is worth it there, right there in this kit. That is literally something you're going to use over and over and over again, year in, year out, never dates. And it's that little finishing touch, which is what I love. I absolutely love it. And I love the fact you can stamp them in one go, die cut them in one go, and you've got a pile of sentiments there ready for you to use. And then not only that, different things that you can stamp onto, vellum, acetate, think about all the different mediums that you can stamp onto papers and stuff like that, but also think of the stamping ways that you can use it. And you could do ombre effects with your stamps. You could do your heat embossing techniques, either using the watermark clear ink pad or our opaque pigment ink pads, where you add the clear embossing powder to it and heat set it. So there's lots of things that you can do with a stamp.
Also so lovely, Debbie, as well, isn't it? It's part of a system. I think that's a great thing. You'd go out and buy a stamp set like this and you think, yeah, I'll use that all the time. You know, it goes into a folder, it goes in a wallet, it goes into the bottom of a drawer. You maybe don't get it out. You know that you're going to keep this binder on your side, on your craft desk, and it's going to be your go-to. And the fact that we can expand it now and give you even more opportunities to use it is really amazing. It's been very busy on this morning already, Debbie. There are loads of you going for it already. Hundreds gone already today. If you want it, definitely grab it and check it out. If you want the original one, we'll give you the details for the original one just shortly as well. We do have both the UK and the US ones in stock over on the website too.
So not only do you get those stamps and those dies, then you're getting the little extra bits that will work, especially with the little, you know, the tabbed ones, the labelled ones that have got the little slits in there. You've got perfectly and it is perfectly sized to fit inside. So you've got this lovely thin satin ribbon in these beautiful 4 colour tones, including your twine on there as well. So that's coming with you for that £24.99. Then you've got the perfectly sized cardstock. And when I say perfectly sized, it's perfectly sized for the stamp set, so it makes it really nice and easy. Please excuse my dirty fingers, I was inking earlier on. Just in case you're wondering, look at her fingers. So that's the sign of a true crafter. But look at the beautiful colours that are in there as well. So you've got that lovely peach tone, some warm orange, some lovely lemons and cream in there, and then of course white. And then you're getting, again, another little thing that we've popped in there, a card blanks and envelopes. And they've come in this colour tone that matches the cardstock. So we thought of everything, because it matches the twine, it matches the ribbon. It's almost like a little bit like a craft kit.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, that's how I look at it. It's like a craft kit. But this is the add-on collection. That's everything that you're getting, including the new tab stamp set and the dies and all of this for that £24.99. It's absolutely amazing. And we'll talk about as well the original kit for those newbies that are joining us all the time, so that you can understand how this system works.
Yeah, and great that you've got that binder page in there as well. So it's going to clip right into your current system that you're already using, which is wonderful. Really busy on this already. $19.99 or $23.96 if you are a Platinum member. Head over to the website, to the homepage, hit the Shop the Show button. You'll see this along with everything else in there. But as Debbie said, you're getting the ribbons, the twine, the card blanks, the envelopes, the dies, the card panels, and those 2 massive stamp sets themselves as well. So excellent, excellent value for money there on that. A lot of you tuning in and saying hi. Patty's in Michigan, Jones in Skelmersdale, the lovely Lynn is here, Christine Mahoney's giving us a wave as well. Mary Pat's in Montana too, and Craft Gidge says this set is so great. It really is. If you've got the original Sacred Style, I'd love to know how you are getting on with it. And talking about the original Sacred Style, that's exactly what we've got for you. It is on a half price deal as well. $94.99 if you're in the UK. It's available for you in the US as well. Worth every one of the £214 that we is the full price on this. The great thing about this system is just how seamlessly it works. So you're going to get the binder with all of your different panels in there. Debbie's going to take us through all of the different ones that we've got. But then what you're also getting as well is your box included too. And this has got everything that you could need, all those additional elements in there to create beautiful, beautiful sentiments. And sentiments, especially these sort of tag banner styles, something that really finishes off your project. So if you're in the UK, $94.99, which is $75.99. It is available for you in the US as well. If you want to go for it in the US, $114.95 is your price if you are across the pond. That's a Platinum price of $91.96. A brilliant time to go for it whilst it's on a half price deal. This is a brilliant one, Debbie. It's one that sort of really changed the way people think about sentiments, and I have never seen a system like this before.
Me neither. And I love sentiments that, like I said, they're the finishing touch to other things you might have in your crafty stash, other collections. It's the finishing touches adding that sentiment, personalising, literally, honestly, customising it to what you want to say to someone, but saying it with a lovely style. Honestly, this is just amazing. But it's a very useful tool, and that's why I talked about it earlier being something that every crafter should have, because we all need those sentiments in our life, but we want to make it quick and easy. Because I've had sentiments where you have to stamp them out individually, and then you have to work out what nesting die you're going to use, or what how you're going to snip it into it. 9 times out of 10 I use my guillotine, it's the easiest way to do it. But with this, you're getting this gorgeous, lovely style. Not only those beautiful sentiments of all different occasions in there as well, and why we've brought the All About You one that will fit into here. I just think it's such a useful tool, and which is why I know how much you guys who have already got this love this, because I see the comments, I've read the messages, I honestly see the most amazing work, and a lot of people using it outside of just this, because this is not something that you're just going to make. So it's something that you're going to add to your projects, and that's what I'm going to show you with some of the cards that I've got today. But honestly, absolutely fabulous. I'm going to show you mine, because this is my own personal one.
Yes, please.
And I've jam-packed it full.
Love that you get no waste as well with this.
There's no
it's
such waste.
So usable,
yeah,
isn't it?
There's none of that at all. So in my ring binder, and you'll customise your ring binder to yourself, how you use yours. But I've already die cut and stamped in different colours, because we've got the sheets in here as well, which is in that extra little additional box that that Joe just showed you a second ago. So I've already got in my 2 wallets lots of sentiments ready to go and craft. I've already put my, from my latest collection as well as the oldest one, but I haven't got much of the left of the old one, so the cardstock's been a welcome addition to mine. But again, it's the perfectly positioned cardstock. Once it's gone, obviously, you'll just then choose your own papers and cardstock that you're going to pop it onto. These 2 dies actually come in that kit that Joe showed you in that little box. You just take them out and pop them onto your magnetic sheet, so it keeps it all together perfectly in there. And I'm just going to take those both off, just remove that around, because I have got me All About You already in there. I've popped it at the beginning just because it's the brand new.
I want to burst out into a busted song. Is it busted or
All
is it
About
McFly?
You. No, it's McFly.
Oh, I should know. I saw McFly
about
this summer.
You.
Yeah.
It is. It's all about you.
It is.
I love McFly, can I just tell you? But honestly, this is just a fabulous collection, and the stamps come in this tag style. You're probably thinking, well, why has it got these little marks on there? It's got them for a reason. The crisscrosses are there for a reason, and that's because when you place your die over it, and if I just get this in the right way, you match your crisscrosses up with the crisscrosses that are on the stamp set, and then you've got the perfectly positioned, perfectly cut banners instantly with all the sentiments on there. So of course this one is my All About You one, but I'll show you with the style that you're going to be getting for the original one. And again, when you see the next stamping panel, this is the die that then fits over, and you can see it fits over perfectly, and it cuts out all of them. There's 17 on that one, which is just amazing when you think how easy it is, this system to use. So that's if you're going for the latest one and you're adding it to your folder. What you're actually getting with the original folder is everything I'm away to show you right now, because this is the birthday wishes. So on here you've got lots of different sentiments on there about the birthdays, and again your dies just fit over the top. So again, if I just bring this one back in for a second, pop that over, you can see it works with all of the stamps that are in this. I just think it's such a clever concept, such a clever idea. It's is it time saving? Is that the right word?
Yeah, it is. I love how some of the lines as well on the stamps, you think, well, that doesn't make much sense, does it? And when you cut it out, it's all beautifully finished and embellished. It all beautifully makes sense, because I remember the first time I saw it, I looked at these on here and I was like, why is there some bird's feet on my stamp set? I actually thought they were like little bird's foot that were on there, and then it made sense when I lined the dies up over the top of that stamp that it's actually there for a reason, because it's the lovely sentiment scroll there, and I just think, again, so clever. I'll read you a couple of the ones out that are on the birthday wishes. Let's have a look. Birthdays are for celebrating. Have a great day. There's no such thing as too many candles. Hooray, it's your birthday. Let's have a look at this one. Hip hip hooray, let's eat cake. Sweet wishes for a fantastic day. That's a lovely one. So there's lots on there, and that's just your birthday wishes one. When you turn it over, the next one in this collection is the time to celebrate. So it's all about the celebratory ones. Sip, sip, hooray. I think that's such a great play on words there. Put on your dancing shoes. Oh, I love that one.
Follow your heart. There's honestly such lovely ones in here. The unusual ones that you wouldn't normally necessarily find, as well as your traditional ones like your happy birthdays, happy anniversaries and all those kind of things. So that's on both of these, and on this one again, you've got Over the Moon for You. You are my person. I thought that said passion then.
Wait,
you're my passion. What's a minute? No, it's that. Yeah, it's You're My Person.
Could be.
Oh, well, would work either way, wouldn't it? But yeah, absolutely amazing on that set. Then we're moving over to the Just to Say. This one's obviously all the sayings like Happy Thanksgiving, brighter days are coming, life is tough but so are you. You've got your sympathy ones on here, deepest condolences with sympathy, which unfortunately, as much as we don't like to make them, we do have to make them from time to time. Well, we've got you covered with the sentiments in there. Lots of other ones on there in thank yous as well. Hope you're feeling better soon. The best things in life aren't things. That's so true.
That's a really nice one.
That's a really nice one, yeah. Then you've got the family ties. So you've got all the families like your birthday boy. Age only matters if you're cheese. Every time I read it out, I absolutely love that one. You've got your happy birthday dad, happy Mother's Day, super mum, making memories. So for your albums and things like that, that's exactly what you could be using. Loads again on there, and all perfectly sized to work with your dies. So you just stamp it and then die cut it, and it's done and dusted. And then last in that collection is the Christmas one, which
Nice,
is
you've got
the
some
season.
festive ones as well, Debbie.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can see everything that you're getting in there, which is a really useful, like I said, it's a proper useful tool, this, Jo. This is not something that's just going to sit gathering dust on your craft room. I can promise you, you will use this over and over again. And like I said, you could just have a couple of stamping sessions in different colours, pop them into your folders, and then when you want to add to your projects, you've got it all wrapped up in your binder, which will sit on your craft desk. Mine now actually sits on my desk. It used to sit on my shelf, but it's got a little bit heavier.
Right.
The more things I add to it, the more heavier it gets. Ooh, chucking bits around on floor. Oh dear Lord, I've chucked my first demo on floor. Oh dear, dearie me, I should be picking, well, getting down on my hands and knees in a minute. Now then, I'm just going quickly show you the box.
That's only, I can't believe that's only the half of it. Gosh,
I know,
thought,
it's amazing.
My, oh my. There's a lot in there. I was looking at that, I think, gosh, that is great value, isn't it? The binder. Forgetting completely about the fact that you get the box included as well. You struggle to get the box for this price, let alone the whole collection.
And the
Debbie.
box is beautiful. It's a box that you're going to use. After you've used the things that are inside it, you're going to use this box for something else, because I would imagine this is a lovely gift box. But you've got all your consumables. Your metal dies will be in here to start with. However, you've got card blanks and envelopes in here. A lot to be going with. You've got ribbons, you've got twines in this one, and you've got all your lovely, and this is a different colourway in this one, so lilacs, peaches, lemons and turquoise colours. Absolutely amazing value for money, for a tool that you will use, and it'll, oh, honestly, you'll get your money's worth out in no time when you think about everything that you're going to say with style when you're adding to your projects.
Absolutely.
Right, I need to get down here.
Say it with style. That's what we'll be doing. Indeed, we will. So just to remind you, it is in stock both in the UK and in the US. So if you're in the US, there's the US deal for you, $114.95, which platinum's down to just under $92. There's a different details for you if you are in the UK. £94.99, which becomes a platinum price of just under $76. So really, really great value. However you're going for that, is a half price deal, which is amazing. And just give you an idea, you know, when you start to add colour to this and think about the different colourful backgrounds you're going to use these on, whether it's going to be things like vellums or acetates, bringing ribbons in, the twines, heat embossing with these as well. There are so many different ways in which you can put them together. It really is an incredible system that's going to allow you to access so many sentiments so quickly and so easily. We also have a quick dry ink pad collection available for you on the show, which you would work really well with these. You get 10 different colours in here, so you're going to get the fuchsia, which is this one here. You've also got baby blue, Chinese red, the jet black. This one here is the parakeet. You've got seal brown, pine tree, smoked emerald, misty morning, and you'll get the orange in there as well. So all 10 of those, $12.91 you save, which is essentially what the cost of 2 of these. So you're getting 2 of them for free. That's an $18.51 you save if you are in the US. Now, I'll also, we're going to go back to this one, the launch for you. This is your All About You. So it's essentially the expansion pack. It's the next volume, really, of your Say It With Style. $24.99 or $29.95, again, is your price on here. Very busy. Hundreds of you gone for this already today. Lots and lots of you gone for it as well in this launch day already. A lot of you talking about it as well in the comments. Melanie says, hello all. I just love using the Say It With Style. It makes card making so much easier for me. And Charlotte says, I love this set too much. I love this set too, so much fun and fantastic sentiments as well. I think, Debbie, when you go for this system, when you invest in it, you're never going to be in a position where you don't have the right sentiment for the card, because that's annoying, isn't it? You really want to finish it with something perfect and then you don't have it. You've got all bases covered here with this.
Absolutely, all of them. At any occasion I can think of is in that Say It With Style. Today, though, is all about you. So it's all about the fabulous sentiments that is about you. And this is what I love about this one. Adding those extra 2 dies for me give it a little extra element. And I would be definitely popping those into my wallet so that I could then reuse them. It's so refreshing to be able to come to a set, stamp them, die cut them, pop in a wallet or add them to your own projects and have them in a bulk. So no longer are you having to stamp out each individual one, die cut each individual one. You've got beautiful styles, beautiful fonts. It's just such a clever idea. Leanne and the team, yet again, knock it out of the ballpark because seriously, this is just a fabulous collection. But I am going to focus on the All About You throughout these, if I stop throwing things around. I've got a fan on and my fan is blowing things everywhere. However, the first one that went all over the floor was
you, okay.
It was mid-floaty dress.
Right.
That's what it was. How much should I flash then? I'll behave myself. But yeah, honestly.
Debbie's gone for it. The reason for going for a dark dress is that so you can.
How did you guess?
Yeah.
I got my dark dress when I do this. When I click, yeah, definitely. Right, let me show you how it works. So I'm going to show you how the new stamp set works with the dies that are already in your original Slate with Style. I might do a little bit of a different one that I did this morning. So I might do a little bit of heat embossing. Oh, actually.
Fabulous.
I will. I'm going to stick with it. Right, so first things first. I cannot highly recommend the stamping platform because this, for me, is the one that I think you're going to need when you've got this set. Now, literally, this sounds cliche every single time I say it, but it did change the way
Got a deal on that today as well, Debbie.
It's a fabulous deal, it is. That's a great price on there for it.
$26.99 if you want to get that today. Loads of crafters say this is the one thing they couldn't be without now.
The stamping platform?
Yeah, Jan says it's her like number one.
Yeah,
Jan,
yeah, definitely, Michelle. It does. For me, when I first saw the prototype that Leanne showed me, I was like, oh God, this is a game changer. Especially when, because you know, there's lots of platforms out there, you know, with the hinges and things like that. That's all good and well, but I want a proper platform that I know I'm not going to miss every single time. And this is the one for me. It makes it so much easier. Having the grid on there, so you can position things, having the footwells for the feet to go in. Obviously,
nice that it's not hinged as well, so you get, you can get, larger things in here, thicker mediums that you might want to stamp onto.
Yeah, you're
unlimited on the thickness,
ones,
aren't you? And also, you're getting even pressure as well. I know a lot of the hinge systems tend to have, more pressure on one side than the other.
Yeah.
This doesn't have that, does it?
Absolutely. Now I'm going to use my All About You stamp set, and I'm going to go in with this one because I've got a style of card in mind and something that I want to say for this one. So I'm going to pop this down. Now I did use it earlier and I don't think I cleaned it, so I'm going to be careful with what I'm doing. But you're placing it on. Now I'm using my stamping platform, but if you've noticed, I'm not using magnets. I will say when you're using these plates, and I say plates, but it's like a full sheet of stamps. To pop your, and you've got to be careful, so if you're popping your magnet down, you can affect the stamp. So I would say, just on this occasion, literally pop your stamp down onto there, but tape your cardstock onto your base. That's the best way I can describe it. And it's what we would say, all of us will say to you, you'll get the best results. So I'm just going to push that down for a second and pick it up. Now I can see that I have got some previous ink from this morning, but I'm going to use, in fact, let's do a bit of heat embossing. We've got time, haven't we? So yeah, I'm going to go in with a bit of heat embossing. So I'm going to use one of our opaque pigment ink pads. I'm going to go in with a green, and the only reason I've gone in with the green is the colours that I've chose for my project. So I'm going to choose the smoked emerald, which is a darker of the green, and I will add some clear embossing powder to it as well afterwards. And grab myself a sheet because I want to be ready to catch it.
Again, I'd say anyone that's got this, I'd love to know the original Say It With Style because it was so popular when we launched it. If you've got it, you've been using it, I'd love to know how you're getting on with it. Crafters TV over on Facebook, Crafters Companion if you're over on YouTube. Any questions you've got for Debbie as well in this show, you can get those into me as well. Remember, Santangel will be here in about half an hour's time. Well, I say that, Debbie, with what's left after this morning's show, it was absolutely...
Did it?
It was a storming show. It was really incredibly busy. So who knows how long those items will be hanging around for the rest of the day. I would absolutely say to you, if you are after Sanntangle items, get over there and pop them into your basket, because nothing's sold out at the moment, Debbie, which is always quite a nice, fortunate position, isn't it?
I was going to say, I would get our producer Johnny just to double check that because things could have changed. I was busy chatting to our lovely Craig because Craig's been in the building today, so I was having a little chat with Craig. But yeah, I mean, every time we fetch Sandra up here, it's immensely busy.
It is, isn't it?
Immensely busy. So
How are
yeah.
you doing with your tangling, Debbie? You still
I
doing
still
your
do,
tangling?
yeah. When I'm having a bit of downtime, because I bought one of Sandra's diaries. I'm hoping she's doing a diary for next year. I tangle away in that, take my diary out with me. But yeah, I'm always tangling away. I love doing my little things. Made some cards and some projects. I've done some in some scrapbook layouts as well. So yeah, I absolutely love it. Right, can I just say, I've inked all over there. The lovely thing about the stamping platform is if you miss an area, you can go back in and re-stamp it, which is why you will know from Jan, from Michelle to Debbie, myself, Craig, Leanne, Sarah, we all consider it to be an hero tool because of this fact. So I'm just going to cover and put the pressure down. I always hold it in one place and then go back in. It's got like a bounce to it, like spring back up with the spring-loaded legs. But it does mean that if you need to position back into place, if you've missed an area of ink, you can go back in. Now I know that I want to add a little bit more to this, so I'm going to go in again with that colour, and I'm going to use the opaque pigment ink. I did say you could play around with the ink, so it could have an ombre effect in your inks, and you could use a couple of different colours in there. That would look lovely too. But yes, I'm just going to go back in to show you why we all consider the stamping platform to be that hero tool.
Talking about the stamping platform, Trace says, well, what's the difference between the hinge platforms and this one?
So an hinge is where it's fixed to, so it's like this.
Like a door.
I'll just do the sign here with my hand. So let me just go back in there. It's on like an hinge here, and it hinges up and down. Don't get me wrong, I'm not dissing anybody's stamping platforms or anything like that. I've just had problems with them in the past, which is why when I first saw this, I'm thinking I'm going to give it a go, and oh my God, I'll never go back to another one ever again, because this works for me every single time.
Yeah,
and
this
again,
is like a sort of floating lid, isn't it? Rather than a connecting lid, I guess, is a difference. And
yeah,
you know, you get
an
a lot
hinged one is a
more stuff
connecting.
under here, can't you?
Yeah, and that's why I absolutely would say that this one for me is the best that I've used. I'm just going to say I've used, not the best on the market, because I always consider our things to be the best on the market. However, it's the best I've used, and I won't go back to using anything else. So again, when I lift that off now, I've still missed a little bit there because I didn't put the pressure down, so I can go back in and push the pressure down onto the top, and I get that again. Literally, it's such an easy platform to use. Any areas that you've missed, you just go back down until you're happy with what you've done. Now, excuse me, I've got a tickle.
I hope that answers your question, Tracy. Any other questions you've got, you can, of course, keep getting them into us.
Right, I'm just going to, in fact, tell you what, I'm going to have a little...
I'll just remind everyone, I want to tell everyone actually about this Centura Pearl that we've got just here. Now you get 156 sheets in here in some glorious colours. You've got a couple of different collections. So you've got the darks in here, which are really lovely. I'm absolutely loving this really wonderful sort of dark orange, all of course in the pearlescent finish, the wonderful bronze in there and the blue. Then you'll also get the trends as well, which are these ones here, really vibrant. That sort of chartreuse green is lovely. You've got the fuchsia in there, that wonderful mint colour, and your blues. You've then got as well pastels, which are always a crowd pleaser, aren't they? It's one of the most popular collections that we bring to you in the pastels. I'm loving that gorgeous lemon and that wonderful sky blue there. And you'll also then get the precious metals as well. You get 36 sheets here in the precious metals. So all of these real essentials actually, $37.99 or $55.99, saving you over 20% there on those, which is just over £30 or $44 if you are a platinum member. Right, we're going to go back to Debbie.
So sorry about that.
All right.
I get a little tickle, and I think if I don't get it under control, it's going to I'll just start coughing and spluttering everywhere. It's just the area that I'm in, and I think it's not helping with having the fan on. However, going back, I've just scattered over the top of my, because at the minute you're thinking, where's sentiment's gone? Well, I've actually used some clear embossing powder over the top, because this is a wet ink. It's like we call it like a sticky ink, the opaque pigment ink, but it allows you to do blending as well as heat embossing, which is why, again, we love our ink pads. So I'm just going to lift that off for a second. Let me get my fingers under there and then take that down, because I realised afterwards I didn't take the tape off. However, it doesn't matter. Give that a little tap. Just going to take my tape off now. And then, yeah, I got it off the bottom bit. Just make sure that's all covered. If you've missed an area, you can go back in and scoop that back on and just go back in until you're happy that it's covered all over. And then we'll start with the heat embossing technique. And again, I love this technique. I know Debbie loves it, Craig loves it. We're all lovers of heat embossing technique. It's one of those techniques you never, ever, ever tire of watching or doing. And that's the thing about the stamps. That's exactly what you can do. You can just not just stamp with it. You can also do this too, and stamp onto lots of different mediums. So I'm just going to warm my heat tool up for a second.
You've got one now.
I have. I've had mine for a
When
little
did you
while.
get yours? You want to speed? Have you got that plugged in?
Yeah, I've got one. It's
That's not on, Debbie.
You what, love?
It's not on. You want to plug it in?
Do you know? I am trying. Is mine a little bit louder?
Yours is
than
a
Jan's?
little bit louder than
Yeah,
Jan's,
because she's
apparently.
a different brand. I have got one coming to the studio soon.
Yeah.
Because I've ordered one for the studio.
Right.
A friend was selling a Jan one.
A Jan
Mine's
one?
a different one. It's a
Right.
different brand. But yes, I've got one coming to the studio, so we can all have a silent one.
Oh, amazing.
And then, yeah, so I'm just waiting for it to come. That's all I'm waiting for at the moment.
Fabulous. But
Wow.
it is working, yes. I mean,
you see it?
People are going to be asking now, I'm going to preempt the question, where did you get it from, Debbie? Because everyone's going to be asking in the comments.
Oh, bless you. Mine was from a local craft shop in Elsica, not far from the next village on from where I live. There's a little local craft shop, and I like to support them. I like to support our local craft shops. There aren't many of them around anymore now. The way of the world, that's what's happened.
Absolutely,
so it's just the nature of how it is for not just craft, it's happened to a lot of places. So I like to support them when I can. It's a little one in Elsica what I go to.
In where, sorry?
Elsica. I live in
Elsica.
Oyland.
Sounds like
Elsica.
something out of a Disney film, doesn't it?
Beautiful place. It's an absolute beautiful place. Lots of, and it's an heritage centre as well. So it's full of history. And yeah, it's about, I'd say about a 15-20 minute walk
Not
from
far.
where I live. 5 minutes in car. I take
Is
kids
it
down there
near
all the time.
Rotherham where Jan lives?
Where what?
Near Rotherham where Jan lives.
Rotherham?
Yeah.
Wash your mouth out with soap, she'll kill you.
I
Did she
know.
say Rotherham?
I've been winding her up now because I
You
always say she
little
lives in
devil.
Rotherham. So when it comes up, I'm like, I don't know why she said that. She lives in Rotherham. We all know she lives in Rotherham.
She doesn't.
I know.
She doesn't. She lives in, I think it's Aston. Aston? Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
Aston she lives in.
I haven't worked with Jan for ages.
Well, she's back now. She's had a couple of weeks off, so she's back. And she'll be back up here. I think it's next week she's up.
Have you had some time off as well, Debbie?
Have I had
you
some
been
what,
on your Lollybobs?
So that again?
Have you been away?
No. I had a week off. But no, that felt like a lifetime ago, actually.
Did it?
But I had a week off. But no, I haven't been on holiday yet, she says.
Fingers crossed soon, Debbie.
Hoping to.
I want to remind you as well, tomorrow there's something very special happening. There is a 3-hour Leanne cartload with
I
yours truly
know.
and Leanne. That'll be at 6
I
p.m.
know.
Here in the UK, 1 o'clock East Coast, 10 a.m. West Coast. So make sure you join myself and Leanne for that. There's loads of incredible deals on there. And there's a launch day as well tomorrow as well. It's gonna be an action-packed
I am
one.
really looking forward to that launch day, I can't tell you. Am I with you, Joe?
Yes, you and I tomorrow.
Yay, it's going to be a good one. Absolutely, I think I might have missed a little bit there, but I'm quite happy with that, so I'm going to leave it because I've got loads of sentiments on there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to place our die. Let me just give this a little bit of a clean though. I've got a little bit of dust. And I say dust, powder dust. I don't mean dust. Powder dust on my counter. So I'm just going to get rid of all that. I think I've got a bit of ink on there as well. So let me bring in the die that matches that. So if I bring in this one, and let's have a little look. What have I done with it? Just bear with me a second, Joe.
No problem whatsoever.
Do you know, it's all right. I've just got it here. I'm just going to show you. I'll pop that down. I'm going to pop... Oh, it's my plates. There they are. I'm going to bring my plates back in. So all we're going to do now is line this up. Now, I've missed a little bit of my cross, but it doesn't matter because all we're doing is lining up the crosses to the crosses that are on the die. Now, literally, you need to place those over. And you need to make sure that when you're using this system that the cross is right in the centre. So I can see it's on here, but I just need to give it a slight little twiddle to there. And that means now they're all perfectly positioned perfectly lined up, but you do need to hold it down with some low tack tape, Joe.
It's really making me laugh. The sentiment at the bottom there, which says, live, laugh. My friend Lee, he's from Bradford, Debbie, and he's got the most broadest Yorkshire accent you've ever heard. And he said to me once, a little while ago, he went, "Oh, lovely flaff." And I was like, and I was like, "What, lovely flaff?" And he was like, "Yeah, lovely flaff." And I was like, "What are you saying?" He was like, "Love, live, laugh."
Oh.
Lovely flaff. Oh, lovely flaff.
I would even say, I'm thinking, lovely flaff.
Yeah, I know,
What's a
that's what I
lovely
thought you were
flaff?
saying. That's how broad his accent is, Debbie. He also once said to me as well, "Oh, you don't know him, no her."
What?
I don't know him, no her. Don't know him, no her.
I still don't understand
I
that.
don't know him, I know her, that means.
Oh my
don't know him, no her.
goodness me. There's a place in Leeds that you can go to that's in it's that dome thing. I can't remember what they call it. It's like a market.
Should call it the Leeds Dome.
We'll call it that.
The Leeds Dome. I know what you mean though, the indoor market.
Yeah, but they sell like Yorkshire sayings on things like cups and bags and I struggle. I'm from Yorkshire. I've been Yorkshire born and bred, and I struggle to understand them.
It's funny, isn't it?
What on earth? Because even though I'm from Yorkshire, I don't talk like. I don't know. Do you know? I'm not offending anybody if anyone's watching from Yorkshire, but you'll know what I mean when I say that I haven't got that thorough Yorkshire twang.
Not thick.
Not thick. That's Thank you.
I mean, not as in stupid. I mean, it's the thick accent is what I mean.
You
know what I mean.
I know
not
what
thick
you
accent
mean.
is what I mean. I was not implying people from Yorkshire are stupid, Debbie. We get that right.
I should hope you're not. We're creative though. Now I'm just taking this off for a second, and now what you'll find, if I just push all those onto there and put my plates back, whatever I've done with the other ones, there we go. You've now got a set of sentiments that are not only heat embossed, but you've got all of these as well, which I just think is absolutely fabulous. And then you've got the dies, because like I said, I mean, this one actually you could use together. You could use the True Love together. Yeah. But you make my day is what you're going to add to that. Thank you is what you're going to add to that. Oh, no. That's under the love one. Love makes the world go round. You got this, True Love. Now then, what about this one on your special day? Love on your special day. You are loved, especially for you. So let's put them all under order. But you can see where we're going with this. With much love. Love you. Miss you. Yeah, I'm in the right one, aren't I? You are, am I getting confused now? You are my best friend. You make the world a better place. What's this one? Love on your wedding day. We're going to add to that one. Love on your birthday. Oh, there it is. Live, laugh, love.
Lovely flaff.
Lovely flaff. My gosh, I can't say that again. I'm not going to try and say that. But all you're going to do is take the die, and if I just get my dies, you're then going to take your die, and this is when, again, you could have all these already cut and ready to go into your box, but what you could do is also die cut at the same time in your, so like this is all green that I've gone with, so I could cut these out into green and then add them all, pop them in a little bag, pop them in your wallet, so that they're already there for you to add to. So again, lots of ways that you can use them. I actually have, or I did have, because I dropped everything on the floor, so now I've lost bits. I'm always losing my bits. Honestly, I've lost it. I don't know how I've lost it. I've got one of them, but it's okay, because I've got some cardstock that I can use. Let me get all these together. Let's use a little bit of, I'm going to use a bit of white actually, just bear with me a second.
No problem at all. If you've got any questions about this launch, do get them into me. It's very, very busy. It was very busy in the wake-up call earlier, but it's getting busier and busier throughout this launch day also. Hundreds of you gone for it today. $24.99 or $29.95 gets you this, the Say It With Style All About You expansion pack. Remember, we do have the original Say It With Style as well on a half-price deal for you available too. So if you've not yet invested in this incredible system, today could be the day to come and get the original system and go for this expansion pack as well.
Right, so I'm going to use my love, because I think I'm going to have, yeah, let's have a think. No, I'm going to use the you, actually. No, I'm sticking with it. I'm going to stick with the original plan. Love. This is the lovely thing about this. You can actually just customise it to whatever it is that you want to say. So I'm going to use my love. Got a little bit of scrap paper on here. It's my green bit that I've lost, and I'm going to have to ink it because I was going to do a little bit of a double one there, but I don't know where it's gone, Joe. I think it's blown away while I've. Do you know how I dropped everything on the floor? Or it's either that or it's in bin, because that's another thing that I tend to do. Drop things in the bin, because I have a bin at the side of me at the craft desk. I can be cutting things out. Do you know when things just jump out of your machine or they jump out of the die and then you think, where's it gone? I never think of looking in my bin.
Right.
But that's exactly where it's disappeared to. So you've got the love. I'm just going to double check it hasn't gone in there, Joe. If you can just give me a second.
You go for a little bit of a bin dive.
you.
Don't you worry about that. Remember, Sandra's coming up in about 15 minutes' time as well from Sanntangle. Very busy on those products this morning. You will need to be quick. I don't think we've had any sellouts yet, Johnny, have we? Not yet, but some stuff is perilously low in stock. So do make sure you take advantage of it whilst it's all there in stock for you. That's the best time to get your hands on it before we have sellouts, which no doubt will be the case. Oh, the corner dies have sold out, actually.
I'm not
Take it back.
surprised.
We've had one sellout. Don't worry, most of it's still in stock. But if you think you're going to be shopping from that show, all the new bundles are still there and available. So definitely go over there and check those out. Was it in the bin, Debbie?
No, it has literally had little legs, got up and flown away.
Oh,
so I'm not going to worry because I'll just use the other one that I've got to die cut and colour in, if that makes any sense. With the matching ink, actually, I can then colour match it to what I wanted it to do rather than the cardstock. However, the one that I'm going for is all you need. So I'm going to just bring this in. But again, I've got all of these that I can then just move to one side, pop them in my wallets, like I said, or I could actually, again, you could, if you wanted to, die cut them all, pop them into a wallet, or literally have them ready for you when the next time you come to craft. But again, I'm just going to use all you need is love. And it's going to go on to the front of a card. Now, I love this particular style of card, and I love the fact that we've got lots of things on the website today and on the show. And on the show today, we've got some 8x8 butterfly. It's the vintage butterfly, the vellum. It's that gorgeous, gorgeous vellum. So I'm going to make myself a double point, or a triple point, should I say, card. The diamond crisscross is what I love. It's one of my favourite styles of cards at the moment. And I do tend to do quite a lot of these, but this is just beautiful for this particular project that I'm going with. So I've got myself a base of 7x7. I've then cut myself a piece of cardstock, which is, I was going to die cut out of that with my love, but then realised I've got vellum, and vellum has opacity to it. So if I cut the word love out, it would show through. So I've had to change plan. So again, I'm just going to pop some glue onto the back of my base. And so I've gone down with this. I go down 1/4 of an increment when I'm crafting with my mats and layers. So this is actually measuring in at 6 3/4 inch square. And then the same with the vellum, I've gone down 1/4 of an inch. So I've gone with this one. This actually measures in at 6.5 by 6.5.
Okay,
and that will fit onto the top. And again, it gives me that lovely perfect frame. Of course, you could be adding things like inks, because you can still ink onto the top of vellum. There's nothing to stop you from going on with one of the inks to cover around there. But I'm going to keep it nice and clean. And I'm just going to use my dotty tape pen around the outside
Funny
to hold it into place.
We get lots of questions about adhesives and vellum, don't we, Debbie? How to sort of stick it onto your projects. I didn't realise our tape pens were fine.
Our tape pens, yeah, the dotty one especially, but you can use things like brads. Do you know the brads that you use, the little split pins? You could be using those. I know recently, was it Debbie Fisher that did a masterclass on vellums?
She did, yeah, a whole masterclass on them.
Was you with her?
I wasn't, no, I didn't do the show.
Yeah, so she's done a masterclass. I'm sure it's about a couple of weeks ago. Don't forget, our shows live on forever. We never get rid of the shows. They stay on YouTube and on our Crafters
Some
TV
of them
page.
I've asked to be taken down, Debbie, but they haven't done it for us yet. So some of them need to come down. But, you know, they're all there. They're all still there.
I love it. I saw one the other day and I looked at it. Well, when we were in the other room, do you know when we were in the other studio? And I saw it and I'm like, goodness me, that was like a blast from past.
The weight loss, the weight gain,
yeah.
the lockdown haircuts, the lot. It was I mean, it's a good way to document time, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Our website.
Absolutely. Now I'm going to show you how I make my triple point. So I've taken another piece of cardstock. This actually measures at 8 inches by 7 inches, and I've put a score line because that's going to be the flap that tucks underneath the main base. So if I just show you this for a second, tucks underneath. So that's why I've cut it down to 8 inches by 7 and put the score line at an inch. Now what you need to do is find the middle point. So when you're doing this, either use a ruler or use craft mats. I'm going to use my craft mat on this instance. And a pencil, just grab yourself a little pencil and just mark it off with a little pencil that you can then rub out. So if I pop that on my glass mat, I can go in at 3.5 and put that little mark in so it's just at the bottom. So if you haven't got a ruler, this will be a great tool because it's got all your measurements in inches and half inches on there as well. So I do tend to use it ever such a lot, not just for crafting with it. It's not just a pretty thing that sits on my desk to hold on my craft projects. It's actually a workable one. Now I'm going to I'll bring in my big guillotine just to show you how to create this style of card. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to pop up the arm, and then I'm just going to position, you see this corner here? Not the top one, I need to go from here, and I'm going to take that point to that pencil line, line it up on the edge of the blade. I'm not going to put my finger on it. I want you to remember this is a sharp implement, it's a proper blade. When you realise what Leanne went through to get the guillotines to the standard that she wanted them, they are a real, manufactured from a blade company. So again, when I turn it round, exactly the same. So the point there, let me just bring it there. That point there is down to this point, down to the pencil mark again. So line it up on that edge again, and literally, that is how you will create your triple point, diamond point, whatever point you want to call it, card style, because that's your pieces there now. That bit's the bit that's going to tuck underneath your main base, and that's the bits that you're going to crisscross over to. And when you're doing the same with your mats and layers, so if I bring in my mats and layers for a second, because I've already got mine pre-done, but I'm just going to, let me just move that one out of the way for a second, and let me move that one, there we go. When you're doing this part, it's exactly the same. So when I went down with the next one, so that I knew that main cord was 7 by 7, took down 1/4 inch, you do exactly the same. You find the central point, so you find the centre part. If I bring that together, this is 6 3/4 by 6 3/4. Find that centre part, mark it, do exactly the same where you cut, and the same again applies to your vellum. So the vellum's exactly the same way, but this is the 6.5 by 6.5. I'll just get that the right way there. And then exactly the same, find the centre part, snip that in the same way, and you've got all your mats and layers then that fit perfectly on top of each other. So that's a lovely style card, one that's it's quite a popular one. When you look around the world, I know our design team members make a lot of these. I've seen loads on the I'm a Crafter's companion page. It's one of my favourite styles. I love this style. But it's just to show you how easy it is to do that. And when you've followed that method with your mats and layers, it's really easy to achieve a very nice, neat, framed with your pieces as well. And it's exactly the same. I'm just going to use the vellum. We've got that vellum on the show, I believe.
We do. Hit the shop the show button over on the website. You'll be able to find that vellum. We'll show you that a little bit later in this show. Craft Gidge. I don't think that's their real name, Debbie. Something tells me. It says, vellum makes everything so elegant. And Susan says, a little stamp and die collection really is a one-pass wonder. That's exactly what it is, Susan. Yeah. You'll be able to create loads of sentiments every single time that you use it. Diet says, question regarding that stamping platform, Debbie. Is the second stamp always right on? Is it a little bit wobbly, she says? But
so that again.
She's talking about the fact that it's on springs. Does it make it a little...
Yes, so it has movement. So there is movement. So that's why, when I did mine, did you notice I had it in the centre? I held the centre down, then went around the platform.
Perfect.
If you do that, because there is a bit of give in it, for a reason, there's, the give's there, but you need to make sure you go with this middle press and stamp around. And if you do that if you get used to it and take it as a habit by going into that centre, every single time you do that, you will never have that ghosting. Do you know what I mean? When it moves, you won't get it. And I promise you, because I use that stamping platform all the time. Jan would, Jan's, that's where her crafting journey started in stamping. And when it gets this, I call it the royal seal of approval from our Jan, because she's, like I said, the queen of stamping. Jan was the one that got me into stamping. I love stamping, now. I didn't when I first started.
Yeah.
And I would avoid it like the plague. And I'd buy digi images and things like that because I just thought, I can't stamp. It wasn't the fact that I couldn't stamp, Joe. It was the fact that I didn't have the right tool.
Yes,
And every time I bought another tool that didn't work, I kept thinking, it's me, I'm rubbish. I'm not good. Honestly, I did. I used to think, I'm no good at stamping. It wasn't that at all. It's just having the right tools. We always say that, having the right tools for the job, make crafting easy. Crafting should not be a chore. You shouldn't feel like you can't achieve anything. No. You can achieve what we do here on a daily basis. You just need the right tools to enable you to do that. And I promise you, seriously, if I can do it, anybody can do it.
I think stamping is definitely one of those things as well, isn't it, that people struggle with until they get it right, and then it's like you never look back after that once you get it right.
Exactly. That's exactly it, Joe. You've hit the nail on the head. And it truly is. So again, I'm just going to go in, I'm just using my dotty tape pen again, and I'm just layering these pieces up, because bearing in mind I've still got my little signs there that I want to signs? My little, I know what I mean.
Sentiments.
Sentiments, thank you. It's honestly, such a lovely set. When I saw it, I'm thinking, I wonder what it's going to say on it. I hadn't realised there was going to be these two dies that came with it.
Yeah,
and that's
really
what, for me,
excellent,
elevates it a little bit. And again, just a welcome addition to the Say It With Style binder. There we go. So I'm going to go in, and then I'm going to just attach these two pieces together. How are we doing for time, producer Johnny?
We've got a few minutes left, Debbie.
Whew, that's okay. Take your time, Debbie, take your time, yes. You know, because I can see Sandra in the studio, I'm thinking, Sandra's in. She's what? I'm like, I can see her limbering up in the corner. Now, I'm just going to pop that on.
Doing a pre-show yoga at the moment.
A what?
A pre-show yoga. Yeah.
Oh, dear. But yes, I'm just popping that down. Then I'm ready to put on my crisscross. No right or wrong with this either, can I just tell you? You can bring these further down. You can split them. You can go as big as you want or as compact as you want. I like a nice, neat finish, especially when you're gifting this to someone. And I always make sure that as long as these two match up on that bottom layer, you'll be fine. It's when you take them down, that's when you're going to have problems, because it won't balance right. But you can take it out further, so you can go that little bit further if you want to. But I do like the nice neatness of this, so I'm going to go in with, let's do it with a little bit of this one first, and I'm going to take it, match that up to both sides, and then simply pop that down. And I'm not worried about it being over the top if you don't want to, but like I said, I like a neat finish, so I'm going to go in with a full neat part.
I guess it makes it easy to get in the envelope as well, doesn't it, Debbie?
Yeah, especially if you're sending this through the post, then think about that, because otherwise you can make it a little bit tricky on yourself when it comes to posting. Oh, Debbie, you didn't want to stick that. Oh, nearly. You want to make sure you line it up before you do that, Debbie. And then pop that down. That looks about right. Stick that on. And then I've got a lovely centrepiece of a card that will stand beautifully. And then what do I need to finish this off? I need to finish it off with, she says, my little pieces. Where have you got? Oh, do you know? I can feel it in my bones, Joe. I'm having one of those days. I'm going to use the love. I wanted to do a double feature where I'm going to use this, and I was thinking I might have it going about there, because all you need is love. But it looks a bit stark at the minute, and I want to warm it up a little bit. So I'm going to take my ink pad now. I don't think I've got a water reactive one. Let me just have a quick peek. No, so I'll use my quick dry again. Yeah, just to give it a little touch up around the edges. So I'm going to take my finger dabber. Get the matching colour there, and I'm just going to give it a little touch around, just to bring it in keeping with the card itself.
Lots and lots of you loving this still at the moment. It's very busy, as we knew it would be. So many of you own the original as well, the original Say It With Style, so it makes so much sense to grab this today whilst we are launching it. And as Debbie was saying, lovely addition of the dies in there too, to give you the extra options when it comes to using this, but wonderful to have it as part of that whole concept. Debbie, you're going to be back with us, aren't you, for another hour of this launch day?
Absolutely.
After an hour of Santa and all things Sanntangle. So we'll be looking at more ways of using it then.
Yep, I'm going to do a scrapbook page layout. I think I've got a different style card. The thing is with these, the sentiments at the end of the day, Joe. So as long as you get as long as you know how to line up and do that, and I will repeat that on that first when we come back, just for the people that may not have tuned in at 2 o'clock, I will repeat it again. I'll probably do it with the other style ones to show you how they line up as well. But yes, it's a sentiment. End of the day, it's a sentiment, and it's the finishing touch. For me, it's the finishing touch, and that's what I love about this. I've just got a little bit of my lipstick on there again. Me and my lipstick today. I don't know, I did it earlier on this morning's card. I've got a touch of my lipstick just on that. That's because I had an hair in my mouth and I was trying to get it out. A loose hair from my head, if you're wondering. Now, I'm just going to add on a few little extras. I've used some of our Love Heart dies that are in the, do you know the mini collection? The little minis, these are the Love Hearts from one of that. And again, you can add more of these on if you wanted to, but I think that says all I needed to say. And I'm just going to add on now, and I think I'll use, oh gosh, time. Johnny, keep me in check. Oh, right.
You're on borrowed time.
I am on borrowed time. I was just thinking then.
You're borrowing time out of your 4 o'clock hour now. That's what it is.
Do you know Sandra will have to go into? Can Sandra go into a bit of my time, Johnny? Sandra can go into a little bit of my time. We're all friends here. We're all family.
We are indeed.
We share the love. Sharing is caring and all that, and it really is. But yeah, I'm really sorry, Sandra. I can see you limbering up there, and I'm sorry.
Brenda loves your nails, Debbie.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you.
It's going to be like dodge 'em. Sandra's going to push her counter in, knock yours out of the way like wacky racers. Eleanor says, I love this card. It's so unique. And I guess the great thing about these sentiments, it doesn't matter what style of crafting you're doing, what card you're making, what collection you're making. They're one of those sort of universal things that are going to go with absolutely everything. And I mean, I think it's rare we get to say that in crafting, but this really is one of those.
Absolutely.
That's gorgeous.
Now, I'm just going to leave it there for now. I'll just finish off the rest of the decoration because I don't want to pinch any more of Sandra's time. But it is, all you need is love in the world, and it really is. Gorgeous sentiments. It is same with style. You decide on your style of card, but you know you've got a set of fabulous sentiments that, and again, look at all these rest of these sentiments that I've got to add to my wallet at the front of my Say It With Style. Honestly, this is just a fabulous one. When I do my scrapbook page, I'm going to use quite a few together.
Oh, nice.
So I think I'll kickstart the second hour that I'm coming back to with my lovely scrapbook page.
Brilliant. If you want to go for this, as many of you are, hundreds of them gone so far today, $24.99 or $29.95. Remember, you're getting the 2 brand new A5 stamps in here, along with the dies as well. So they're a lovely addition to this collection. You've got your card blanks and envelopes, of course, the ribbon in here, and you're getting the coloured card panels too. Excellent value. Going to work beautifully in conjunction with the original Say It With Style, both of which are in stock over on the website. So make sure you go over there and check those out. Right, we're going to take a really quick break. So we will be, we're going to get to know Craig before Sandra rejoins us in the studio.
My name's Craig Laird. I work at Crafter's Companion. I am a craft expert where I get to play with lots of crafty goodies from Crafter's Companion, and hopefully we're here to inspire you with lots of crafty things that you can do. So my crafting journey, that started many years ago, actually just over 20 years ago. I actually came across crafting on UK Shopping TV. I was unwell at the time, and I was just channel surfing, just having a look to see what was on TV, and then I came across who has now become my friend, Debby, and I thought, oh, quite like that bit of crafting that she's doing. I purchased some crafty goodies, and before you know it, here I am, all these years later, doing what I'm doing with Crafter's Companion. So believe it or not, none of my family or friends are actually very creative. So the creative side in me has actually just progressed naturally. As I have progressed, I've become really good friends with many craft experts out there in the industry, and they're the ones that inspire me. Then coming to Crafter's Companion, Crafters TV, and interacting with all the crafters at home, seeing what they make. I am a huge advocate for social media because you get to see lots of things that everyone makes at home, and that does inspire me as well. Many years ago, before I started here at Crafter's Companion, believe it or not, I didn't have a lot of confidence. I didn't go out a lot, I didn't do much. Now, with Crafters Companion and Crafters TV. It's given me so much confidence, self-belief. My biggest crafting success, I'm going to have to pick two. One of them is appearing on HSN America. I was really lucky a couple of years ago to actually go to Florida with Sarah to see how it all works behind the scenes. An incredible juggernaut that the shopping TV is at HSN. That for me is an incredible proud moment. I will never ever forget when all of you incredible crafters at home voted enough for me to be in the running of the 2021 Male Craft Personality of the Year. Was such a humbling feeling. I was so proud. I was so grateful. Our Crafters TV audience are absolutely incredible. For me personally, it is personal interaction. I've never had the best of health. I've always been open about that with our viewers, and the support that I get. So many people are in the same situation as me health-wise, but if you just want that interaction, you just want to have that chat away about anything random in life, onto social media, onto Crafters TV, you know that you're going to get that support, you're going to get that understanding when it comes to the crafters at home.
So lovely to see Craig there. He'll be back as well with us on the 5th of September. He'll be back here in the Crafters TV studio. He's actually here presenting it on the 5th, so make sure you come and join him for that, which will be glorious. Now we are joined again, a lady I haven't seen for such a long time. Sandra Rushton's back in the studio. How are you?
Really good, thank you. It's lovely to see you too.
Great to be back again with you. I know you had a really busy show earlier today. So incredibly busy. Loads of beautiful new items for us, which we'll go through in a moment. For anyone though that's new to your range, we get loads of new customers all the time. Sandra, who are Sanntangle? What are they about?
Oh, Santangles. There's 4 people. There's myself, my husband, my friend Leslie, and our new apprentice Tommy. We all work over in Scunthorpe. We've got our own unit there, or offices I suppose, where we design and make all our own products, and then of course we do classes over there as well. If you don't know what Sanntangle is, it's all about very simple lines, bubbles, very simple marks. If you can actually put a pen to paper and follow a few instructions, you could actually do this. It's very relaxing, very addictive as well.
It is very addictive. Debby Robinson will vouch for that. There's a lot worse things to be addicted to, let's face it,
it's just
Sandra.
so much fun.
And also, I think you'll see as we go through the show, it's so mindful, it's really peaceful, really relaxing. We've got lots of brand new stuff for you on the show today. This is flying out at the moment. It's a 4-pack complete Christmas stencil and book bundle. This book, then, brand new book for us, Sandra, here.
You know, it's lovely. I designed these little books with the idea that you sit of an evening and you can tangle within those pictures. You could colour them in if you want, if you don't want to tangle. Get yourself a fine liner, sit and watch the TV, but add a few bits and pieces onto this. And then when you're in your craft room, you can then take them out of the book, you can die cut round them, you could build them up if you want to, because there's 3 of each image in there. Yeah, and then make your own Christmas cards with them.
Amazing. And we're not just getting that then, we're getting Let's Do Christmas, we're getting the different stencils, so we're getting the stag one in here. Stag seems to be one of those images, is just so popular now,
it isn't just for Christmas, is it? But you've got lots. I think there's about 7 different things you can do here, so you've got different variations of stags. A really cute one that's almost can't stand up straight. Then you've got one that's
my producer Johnny at Christmas, that is.
Sort of, it's like looking back at you, and you know, all sorts of different ways of doing it. But then the tangling comes in with the antlers, and you can go as elaborate as you want. You've also got that little birdhouse that you can make little pictures with if you want. There's a few Christmas trees in there as well. So beautiful. I did demonstrate that one.
Jam-packed though, this one, because we're not just getting that, we're then getting the assorted stencils
everything
as well.
Together, yeah. This one, lovely. I'm going to demonstrate this one next. It's about if you want to just do Christmas cards, then you can do anything in there. Really, sort of takes you from scratch. You've got a couple of frames, and then you've got the bells, the snowflake, the pine cone, and the Christmas tree. I think you've also got I can't remember. You've got so many other things in there, but they work brilliantly alongside the next stencil that
amazing.
Got there.
It's almost like Christmas embellishments, that one, isn't it?
It
like
is,
a load of different bits. You can just add them to different projects. Yeah. And then, of course, these. Now, these look absolutely glorious, Sandra, is your reef stencils, which are those there. But wait until you see what's in the book. I mean, there's some glorious ways to use these, isn't there?
There are. It doesn't look much when you just look at there's 3 circles there, but they give you the shapes and the different ways in which to create 3 wreath sort of shapes, but then you've also got that beautiful moon. It makes such a beautiful piece of art, actually, that one.
It does. I'm guessing these don't need to be festive as well, any of these, if you do
No,
want
they
them to
don't
be.
at all. If you want to swap the holly out, and you could perhaps use the hearts, or like you could create a flower shape if you want to. Wreaths now are actually used all year round. So it really doesn't matter. You can because you're drawing it yourself, you can do what you want to do with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And remember, 3 sets of stencils, the 3 workbooks as well, so you've got all the instruction you need, which is always the case for Sandra and Sanntangle, and then you've got the workbook in there as well. Very busy on this. This is 40% gone here, 56.66 or 56.49. There are a lot of you with this in your basket, again, already in this show. Well, we're going to move on now to the next one, which was really exciting when I saw this morning. The Parchment box and butterfly bundle. I'm going to open the box first. There's so much in here, Sandra.
There is, yes. It's the very first sort of thing we've done with Parchment. So you get those are regular stencils.
Nice.
So you can do your butterflies as you would normally. Beautiful pieces. And again, I'm giving you 3 different sizes of butterflies there. But then you also get the Parchment, and you've got a booklet there again, and you've got a few instructions there on what to and not to do with Parchment. The embossing mat. You've got, there's the tools. You've got 5 full tools in there, double-sided.
Amazing.
But you actually don't need all of them for now.
Right.
But you've got them all.
You got them for when you need them.
Yeah, you've
I
got
must
2
admit,
two acrylic plates.
These are something a bit different to me. How do we use these? How are these going to work?
You've got on one side the smooth. You can just sort of rub out, and the other side you've actually got like an etching, like a scratched or an etched mark.
Yeah.
You've actually got 2 the same then. You don't
I
get
don't
2
know why
the same.
I've got 2 the
I don't
same,
know.
yeah.
I've got the other one. Hang on, I've got one here. I don't think we've mixed up because my box and your box are sort of slightly separate, but you've got. Shall I sneak over with this one? Here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got. What one is that? The butterfly one.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. That's a different one. That goes in the box. That
Thank
one
you very
have
much.
for a minute. There you go.
So we get the 2 in the box then.
You do. You get the big butterfly in the frame, but you also get some parchment paper, so you can get started straight off, and you also get that all-important tumble dry sheet.
Tumble dry sheet. I did look at that and think,
what on earth?
why on earth is there a tumble dry sheet in there?
That actually helps the ball tool roll across the paper a little bit better. No, it reduces the friction on there.
Amazing.
So you have to, honestly, if you've not used that, you know you haven't. So
Right, oh really?
Oh my goodness me, very good. Plus it smells nice.
And then, of course, so you're getting the box as standard, and then in this bundle, we're then giving you the extra plate, aren't we?
Yeah,
and the
extra
Tangle
plate,
and emboss
Again,
as well.
you can use this completely independently if you want to, or you can actually mix this up and put them 2 together. But of course, you've got the stencil and those 3 plates. You can create pictures all using everything,
Amazing.
which is why I put it in a bundle.
And parchment crafting, absolutely lovely. Such a wonderful traditional way of crafting, isn't it? Yeah, and maybe actually, maybe the tangling with a pen you feel is a little bit inaccessible to you. Maybe you just don't have the confidence to get started with a pen, but you're used to using a ball tool, you're used to using parchment, so maybe this is going to be a great start for you, which then leads you into the tangling. Or maybe you're just going to do this on its own and absolutely enjoy it, which I'm sure you will. Loads of you as well have gone for this already. Over half gone of the Parchment box and butterfly bundle. £61.99 or £89.99 if you want to go for that. Or I would love to know what you've gone for so far in the show today as well. I know it's very, very busy, but I'd love to know who's gone for what. This next one is looking glorious as well. So we get the book in here. The book is new, is it, Sandra?
It is pretty new, yes. It's 20 of my favourite pieces of art.
Okay.
So you get my my original artwork at the front. So do you know what, as daft as it sounds, you could take that out and frame it if you wanted to. But again, you've got the bits around the outside. You can make notes, you can draw on that if you want to. It's not a problem. But then you've also got where it says your piece. Look at that one, it's just lovely, isn't it? Your pieces, you get 2 of each design, but you get 2 shaded already, and you get 2 complete outlines.
That's amazing.
But the idea is that you can colour in the shaded ones, you can add more tangles, you can cut them out and build them up. So whatever you want to do, you could even add stamps to them if you want, your own sentiments. Some of them you might see that you think, okay, I've got the stencil for that. That's the original Dreamcatcher, that was. And
Wow.
some things we've done in class that have never actually been out in stencil form.
That's so cute, that one, isn't it?
Totally unique. We've actually, that's the bird in flight that we're doing we've brought today. So.
Really, really lovely. So you get that included in here, brand new, really exciting to get your hands on that. And then we're also getting some stencils as well in here. So you're going to get the bird in flight.
That's the one, yeah. That's the one we demonstrated that last time. So
brilliant.
Yeah, really
and
pretty, that one.
You're then going to get as well the secret keyhole. I love this. What are you going to put in your keyhole? Honestly, you could put whatever you wanted in there, couldn't you?
It's, this one, your imagination can run wild.
Yeah,
because I think you've got the structure of the keyhole. You can then fit within that small area. You can draw whatever you want to do, even if it's just loads and loads of flowers, or if it's just a starry night or something. You could even stamp that and then cut out the keyhole, put that over the top.
Perfect.
So you're not having to draw everything if you don't want to. It's so versatile.
Really, really lovely collection. Again, some really lovely bundles in this show. $47.99, $69.65 is what you are going to pay for that today. Of course, everyone's able to use their Club Inspire discount. I want to whiz you through some other stuff that's in the show that you guys have found already and you are enjoying. Book 6, this is Tiles, Tangles and Techniques. With Sandra, everything you need to know. It's a Bible for tangling, it really is. £20.69 or $30. 80% of that one has gone. You'll need to be quick for that if you want it. We've got number 7 available for you as well. Quarter of stock gone here. All of these completely different projects in each one of these as well. We also have book 8 available as well. Limited stock on book 8. Lots of you went for that already today.
Can I show you that front picture there? I've actually done it in parchment.
Oh, yes. We'll have a look at that in just a second.
Yeah.
Tangly flower stamps we've got available for you as well. However, limited stock. We're not going to see those again, I don't think. So if you want them, or if they're, more importantly, if they're in your baskets, check them out. Exactly the same messaging for the sentiment stamps as well. If they are in your basket, limited stock. They're on those
there
as
aren't
well.
Any more of them.
And we've also got the Stampers Roll available for you too. And again, that is limited stock. So if it's in your basket, please check it out because you're going to miss out. I've got a question coming in from Elizabeth. She says, is Sanntangle and Sanntangle the same thing or are they different?
They are very, very similar
Right.
in the point that we both work on tiles, we both work with fine liners and we do very, very simple marks and shapes. Sanntangle is more based around the arts and crafts. So I tangle not necessarily to make an abstract piece as Sanntangle does. I actually work on what's the end result, what am I going to do with it? I'm going to make it into a card, I'm going to put it onto a piece of artwork, something like that. So it's more in the arts and crafts than it is in the mindful.
Yeah, so more building it into a project really than sort of doing it for the sake of doing it. I don't know if that makes sense, but I mean, but of course, the lovely thing is you're still going to get all of those wonderful benefits, aren't you? But then you get something to show for your hard work as well at the end, which is wonderful. We're going to go back to the Christmas selection. I'm going to give you the details again for that. Remember what you're getting in here. Then you're going to get that brand new book, which is included there, of course. And then you've got the 3 brand new sets of stencils. So you've got the stags. You will also get then your assorted Christmas stencils. And you will get as well the wreaths in there. You're going to get all of that included. $56.66 or $56.49 is your price. I believe that's what we're going to look at first.
I think so, yeah. I've got the Christmas cards out. I thought I want to do the wreath, but I'm going to leave that till later. So we're sort of building you up to it because it's so much fun to do. But yeah, we're going to do cards first. I'm going to put the instructions in here. Now you can see what I've actually done is I've showed you how to draw each thing separately. So the snowflake, the bell. There's some more of the bell, the frame, even how to shade it, look. Then you've got the square frame, the rectangle frame. Then you've got the Christmas tree, but then you can decide how you put the things together. So let's get straight in with it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this rectangular frame here, moving these out of the way. There's my little, you wouldn't believe that was going to be a pine cone.
Oh, cute.
And I'm going to do the Christmas tree as well. So I think to start with, I'm going to come in with this one. I'm going to use one of my larger tiles here. You can use whatever you've got to hand, I suppose, whatever colour you want to work on.
And what's the board you're using there, Sandra? Is that one you've done yourself?
This is my Tangle board, yes.
Right.
If you've got books 1 to 7, you'll find that this is on the front page of every book. It's sort of like a calling card, isn't it? When you take photographs of your artwork, then you know that whose board's behind it, because you've got this sort of thing going on. So what I'm doing here, I've come in with a gel pen. Again, I could have used a black, but I quite like sometimes just to switch it up a little bit. And I'm just drawing in those little dots. It's just giving me a little bit of structure around there. And I can choose, whilst I'm thinking about this, I can choose to draw around the frame so it's completely enclosed, or I can actually choose to leave that if I want to. It's entirely up to you as to what you do with it. But you know, not making, you know, it's not taking too long to do this. We're just putting those little marks in. There you go. So we've got.
Is it important what we tangle with, you know, pen-wise?
Well,
Sandra?
pen-wise, as long as you've got a fine liner. I mean, I'm using a gel pen at the minute. It's an 08, so it's quite a thicker sort of pen. But you know, as long as you've got something, if you want to have a go, pick up whatever you've got in the house, whatever you've got to hand, honestly, and go with it. Don't worry about it too much. It's nice if you're going to do something, you want something to keep it, or maybe if you're going to ink something after that, you want something that's waterproof.
Okay.
Or if you want something to last, you want something archival. But we've got these kind of things in our stash anyway, I would say. So, you know, just sort of go with it. You see that I'm just doing these little curves from dot to dot here. Sort of like mirror images, aren't they, kind of thing. So let's do this one. I'm not going to do the whole of this frame, I'll just do part of it so you can see how it's working out. But you can see there where we're just sort of taking each one. See, that's gone out, so this one's going to go. Yeah, let's do that. And then if I bring it, oh, missed the bubble there. Bring it in this way. You see I've created these little shapes.
So clever, isn't it?
Again, and you know that even, we've all done it. We've tried to go around something and got to the end and had to squeeze things in. We don't really want to do that if we can help it. We know that this is going to give us the space we need. So working within these little shapes now, I'm going to add maybe a little bit of a faux stitch in there. But you know, you could put whatever you want. You could just colour it in if you like. Or you could add something a little bit more detailed. See, right, it builds up with these really, really simple little lines and little marks.
It's like doodling with structure, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I'm not leaving you on your own. I'm not saying
no.
Just sort of go with
the flow. Because otherwise you end
here.
up with, if left to your own devices, what you'll end up with is, as a kid, we also had the phone was in the hallway with a pad next to it, and it used to just have we just have all sorts of things scribbled over it. And my dad would always stand there on the phone and just sort of draw things out on it with no structure. None of it ever made any sense.
Yeah.
But we almost have that natural curiosity to sort of doodle and draw, don't we?
We do, absolutely. Yeah. When I was in a classroom, actually teaching for a living, really teaching in a school. Yeah, I used to allow the students, they had a little notebook at the sides of them, and I positively encouraged them to make notes or even to doodle, because I find as you're doing that, you are focusing a little bit more, I think, and it does help you to sort of take a little bit more in, or it does for me anyway. See, I'm just doing some little zigzags, like a letter M almost, giving me that little bit of holly. But of course, you don't have to use holly here. You could add an extra little flower in there, so you know, you could sort of change it around so it's not all Christmas. But you can see already, just doing these little lines, little curves, it's starting to actually form a bit of a shape here. I think I am going to come back in. I'm just going to put that over the top. Now the great thing with this as well is it doesn't matter how many times you draw it, it's going to look completely different every time, because you've got the dots and you're going to draw slightly different shape curves and slightly different holly shapes in the middle, or say you might want to put little flowers in, but completely every single time. So let's put a few curls in. Now I've not got the restriction of the frame anymore because I've not put that around the outside, but what you can do now, see, is start adding these like little curls in. You see how it starts to grow. So I am going to bring in one just in a moment to show you actually how this looks when it's done. But you can see there I'm not doing anything that's really technical. It's a curl and it's coming back on itself and then going the other way. and back on itself. You see how it's starting to build? So if I bring this one in.
That's really cool. Oh, wow. And is
Okay.
that just literally the same technique built
Exactly the
up?
same. So here you can see those little pieces I've done there. This one here I've drawn extra because I've put little bubbles in, but I've used a black pen. But on the outside, exactly the same as what we've done here. And I've just kept going and going and going, extended the whole thing. A little bit of white chalk in there just to give that a little bit of shading. But you can see from there to there, that's what's giving you that sort of shape. So I want to show you how to do the Christmas tree and then we'll put it all together. So a little bit of a shape. Now here what I've done is I've actually cut out the middle bit there just to sort of give me something that's sort of similar in size. And I'm going to come in with, where is my tree? I've just had my tree and I've lost it. There it is. Just going to come in with the pencil here. So let's put the tree in place there. And just sort of draw around. This is just a guide because we might decide to keep this, we might not at the end of this. And I'm going to mark these little dots in position there, you see? And then just sort of give a little bit of a guide, mark each edge as I go. There we go. Of course my tree wants something to sit in, so rather than me thinking how am I going to do this freehand, turn your tree over. You can line it up a little bit. Let's have lines there, and then again just use my tree. So there we go, my tree's now got a little pot to sort of sit in there.
Perfect.
So straight in with pen. Again, if you want to do this in a different colour or you want to come in with the pencil first. So you know those little curls that we just did all the way around the frame? I'm going to take one from here and I'm going to use this guide. You see where I put that little line? So I'm going to draw one that side. And then I'm going to go from the next dot to the guide. And the next dot. And the next dot. See, following that guide each time. So they're all going to be different, but they're all sort of also a little bit of guidance there. They're going to be in a similar sort of direction there. So maybe, okay. Same on the other side.
Half gone now on this, Sandra. This collection is half sold out with lots of people with it sat in their basket as well at the moment, so it's very, very busy.
It's a lovely Christmas collection. And of course when you put this with the wreaths as well, and then you've got the little book to go with it, so everything works beautifully together. You see we've got that little shape, got some bubbles in the middle. You see, just sort of, again, not being exactly the same. I always think if you draw bubbles slightly different sizes on purpose, nobody's going to know if they're not quite right. Doesn't matter. So here we go. Let's put a few down there. And then I'm going to bring some of these little shapes in this way. Just sort of taking my time. And I think you get into the sort of the flow of it. And the more you do these, the sort of easier they start to become. And then as we build and build, so maybe bringing my little pot in here, maybe add some little lines. Just going to slightly angle them as I get towards the end there. And the same on this side. And then of course, I don't want to do too much to this. I don't want to sort of bring a mass amount of different things in. So I've added a little bit of ink and a bit of glitter. You see there, just like a few little dots on the top to make my star. Little bits of glitter inside there. And then I've rubbed out the triangle shape because again, it was only a guide.
Yeah.
I've just created this. So putting this together then, if we bring that in now, here's my frame again. Again, a little bit, it's glitter everywhere. Actually, my dogs at home ended up full of glitter. So if I was to put that in the middle, let's have a look at that. Now I know we did have some photo corners this morning, didn't we? I do apologise for.
Yeah, they did go, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Our first sellout, those.
But the nice thing with this is, we were talking earlier, you might not keep a card, but you might keep the image. So
Yes.
here's my card. Look, that lovely frosty paper there.
Yeah, it's delicious, isn't it?
Because I don't want to stick my tile on, I might be that somebody wants to keep this afterwards. you know, the great thing with those photo corners is you can actually match it. So I've actually cut it out the same paper.
Right, okay.
So if you got those, oh, fabulous. So just for demo purposes, I am going to sort of stick that on there, but you could stick that straight onto your card.
Perfect.
And then your tile would actually come off. So somebody could
That's really handy, isn't it?
discard the card and,
Yeah.
and keep the tile. You know, you might want to put it in your scrapbook or something. I say just for demo purposes, because we don't want to then lose the corners.
We'll try and get those back in for you. Mary Pat says, I'm in a Sanntangle coma.
Oh, it is so nice to do. I mean, if you're watching it and enjoying it, you wait till you actually really get to grips and do it. See, look, I'm not gonna, just gonna add a little bit of glue onto those there, and then let's do it the right way around, Sandra. There you go. It doesn't need anything else, you know. You could put a sentiment
You'd be
on
overjoyed
there,
to receive that, wouldn't you?
I'm
in
not,
the post?
yeah. The only thing we do, of course, is I'm just going to put a little signature there. And there is that's one card. But using that frame with the pine cone, with the bell, whether you wanted to put the star in there, whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Really, really gorgeous. It is. Now, if you want to be creating this, you can very easily. Over half has gone. Remember what you're getting in here then. It's the artwork, assorted stencils for tangling. That's the one that you've just seen there. So that's how Sandra created this. In here, remember as well, you're also getting the stencils and the workbook to allow you to create the stags. And you'll also get the workbook and the stencil to all of those reefs as well, and they are going to be so fun for you to put together. Were you saying in the later show you're going to do the reefs? Is that right, Sandra?
In the later show, yeah.
Amazing. So make sure you come back and join us for that show if you're going for them in this one. And you're also getting that workbook in there too. So a really great way. You've got all the framework in here for you. So if you want to then just come along, start to add your tangling in there, you've got the option to do that, which is brilliant. And then these remove and can be used as a topper if you so wish to. Snap it up, over half gone, 56.66 or 56.49 if you want to get your hands on that one. Next up, we're going to go and have a little look at the Parchment box and butterfly bundle. 60% now of this has sold out and gone. Take you through what you're getting in here then. So you're going to get the Tangle and Emboss, which is your acrylic plate there with the Parchment, and you're getting the stencils as well as, of course, everything that is then in the box for you as well. I'll quickly whiz you back through what's in the box. You are getting the Parchment tools in here, along with loads and loads of instruction in here. Everything you need, which Sandra is so good at doing, including all the information, all the education for you. You've got the sponge in here. You've got 2 Parchment plates in the box itself, as well as the all-important dry sheet, I'm being told. And you will also then get the this one here is your Parchment itself, and then you've also got that floral one in there as well. It's an amazing selection of goodies. The value is brilliant here on this. It's like a brand new hobby in a box, this one, Sandra, isn't it?
It is. I like to do that, and I like to make sure that when you do get it home, you've got everything in there that you need. So yeah, we need the instructions, of course. That's where I think the gem is the fact that I write instructions. But you've got your tools in there, you've got some parchment to get you going with, and then you've got everything you can possibly want. Not to create just what I've done, but to create so many more things. It's unbelievable. The samples, which I'll show you in a bit, are just divine.
Yeah, they really, really are. £61.99, £89.99. Was it 60% gone here on this one? £49.59, £71.99 if you are a platinum member and you want to go for this. And maybe, as I was saying earlier, maybe a lot of people aren't that arty, Sandra, and have maybe sort of been reluctant to give it a go with a pen, the tangling, but know that parchment crafting and even maybe flower forming is something they can do with a ball tool. So this will be right up their street.
Absolutely, yeah, and it just means that it's a different material to work on. Don't think it's just Tangle is just for paper. We tangle on all sorts, even my shoes, to be fair.
Right,
we tangle on all sorts of things. But yeah, the nice thing with these is parchment by its very nature is white. But we still use colour, and these instructions are actually in full colour.
Right.
So I do go through and show you how to do the butterfly, how to do the little flower, but then also how to do a bit of freehand, how to colour, how to create the frame. and then how to put everything together. So it's just a lovely way to sort of go from start to finish and see where you end up, really. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a quick start. I've given you 2 different butterflies here, but it doesn't mean you can't swap this wing out for this wing if you want to,
Okey-doke.
or this base for this base. I've given you some. The flowers are the same as the loops, so you could actually mix these flowers in with the frame if you want to, or you can create a whole background with them. So I'm just going to do a quick butterfly here. Now you see I've cut my parchment down just so it fits my butterfly. Don't really want lots and lots of parchment lying around. You just want to use the bit you need. So I'm going to just rub over. This is going to help with the friction, and then take one of my ball tools. Now I do explain in the book which ones I've used, but try them all and you use whichever one's comfortable for you. Each little end is a slightly different size,
Right.
so whatever's comfy. And in true Tangle style, I haven't actually joined the wings and the bodies together because it's up to you as to where you put them. So there's the first section, the body. So I might decide that I want to angle that wing slightly. So then I can come on in and draw around that wing there. You see there, if you come out, you're not going to mark your parchment as well. So don't think, oh, I'm going to make a mess here. You're not. You're following in those grooves.
So the parchment tool actually sits in the groove, does it, as you're
It is.
doing
It's sitting
this?
in the groove
It's sitting
there,
in the
and what
groove.
it's actually doing is stretching that parchment paper.
Right.
Which is why what we tend to do in between each sort of work, you normally give it a little bit of a rest. But yeah, we all need a bit of a rest when we've been pushed and shoved around, don't we? But yeah, you do a little bit. Maybe have 2 on the go or something else on the go, and do a little bit and then come back to it. But yeah, I'm literally working my way around the curves there, and you can see I've got the starting of my butterfly here. Now, I've only used part of the design, and if I just take this off, and now we've got this embossing mat here. This is quite heavy duty, this, and I can see that still working on the back. I can come on in now, and I can perhaps add my own design to it. So think about your pressure here. You want to perhaps have a bit of a practice first, just to get used to it. I'm not really putting a lot of pressure on, and you might find that doing it twice, maybe going over it once, leaving it, doing it twice, might make a bit of a difference as well. Let's do a little bubble in there. Now within the instructions here, I've worked with a lovely lady named Ruth Fletcher, and she's a parchment craft expert. So she's actually given us all some little hints and tips, if I can find it, about what you should and shouldn't sort of do. So here about embossing circles, and moving down through your ball tools to sort of make one, you know, and marking the front so you remember which is the front and the back. And we've had this as a separate sheet from the booklet because it means it's there and you can always refer to it. But also, you don't want to really get any grease marks, so you could also use it to hold on to as you're drawing round. But that's a bit of fun. You can see on the side now, as I turn it round to the front, you can see where I've started to create this beautiful butterfly shape. But got one here that I've done in true style earlier. Cut it out, and I've added a little bit of pencil colouring to it. Now you can ink. I always ink on the back, so I've thrown a little bit of the water-based inks on that. I did do that in the last show, so yeah, and coloured on the front there, and you can see that from here to here you can create so many different variations. But looking at the plate itself, we've got so many more things we can do on it. That's just one butterfly. What if we wanted to do the frame and make a bit of a background? So a little bit of a bigger sheet. So you see, we can start really small, but then you can actually start to create your own little bits. So again, let's rub over.
Parchment crafting, I mean, it's been around forever as well.
It's
isn't
a very, very
really lovely traditional way of
craft.
crafting.
It is, but we just wanted to bring it up to the 21st century a little bit and do something a bit different with it. So you see, we've got all these loops around the outside. My advice is to actually come in and draw your loops first. There we go, work my way around. Just a loop at a time. You see, if you come out there, again, it's not marking the parchment, so not to worry. Okay, and then I would come in and do the loop. Yeah, so let's do a few on this side. So there's my little loop on the top, and then over. See? So
amazing.
looking on the other side, you see you've got this lovely sort of white design coming on, but then we can go it freehand and do, you know that word aura that I use in the books a lot? I could actually create a little aura and do my own little frame underneath there.
Do we have to be really careful not to press too hard with this, Sandra?
Yeah, when you're doing it freehand, I would just be gentle with it. Don't press too hard because your tool can go through the paper if you press on too much. Not so much when you're actually using the plate because you've only got a certain depth you can go to anyway. But if you're not sure, you could always use a larger tool, or you could do it once, say go off and have a quick cuppa, and then come back and do another layer, and that'll bring it out whiter each time. There you go. So if I take that over, you see look how white that is because I've done it twice compared to the first time round. It's the same with the little flowers. Now you don't need this underneath, it's just that it's there, so
Okay.
excuse me, let's do it. So let's come in with the flower again. I'm going to work from the middle outwards because as we've said, we're stretching that paper. And around we go. Oh, excuse me. There we are. See how it just sort of works your way around. So there's our flower. But again, we can come on in. Oh, see that's, I've just gone a bit too hard there. A few flicks. This is just as though we were tangling, really, exactly the same sort of motion there.
Clarice asked, is there a difference between parchment and vellum?
Yes, vellum you won't find it'll go as white.
Okay.
You get a bit of an impression, but it won't quite do the same job. So honestly, look for parchment. This parchment's 150 GSM, and it's a plain or a clear parchment. You can get lots of different colours. If you were going to use a different colour, see actually that's not too bad, so that's where I put that little mark. You see how it's starting to sort of flow there? But yeah, you can actually get different colour parchment. So my advice though, you know sometimes when you get it, it'll look darker on the back than the front. Make sure that you always do your parching or your embossing on the dark side.
Okay.
On the dark side. Yeah. We all know that film. I love those films. But yeah, a little bit of ink on the back. Now this inking is just so easy with it. What you've got to do is on the back and you just sort of, that's it, and it blends up beautifully. You don't have to put much work in at all as far as that's concerned. But you see there, like now I've got this lovely sort of mixed colour coming in.
Really lovely, isn't it?
Now colouring wise, you can use lots of different things. I've got pencils with me today, so there's two ways of doing it. So let's go in with the blue here. I could turn it over, and I could add some pencil on the back. Now it doesn't matter going over the white bits there because it's already white, so you're not going to have a problem on the other side. But there you go. See, so not putting too much effort in a sense in there. Let's turn it over. You get this sort of lovely subtle colour there.
Clarice asked about the difference in the parchments using our baking sheets rather than the one you're using. I guess it's weight and thickness, would it be?
It is, yeah. It's got to be a certain weight and thickness. If you go and go too thin, you're going to really struggle to get anything on it afterwards. It's going to be so delicate. So yeah, you want to go 140, 150 GSM. That's the kind of sort of thickness.
Excellent.
You see the difference there between colouring on the back, colouring on the front.
Much more subtle, isn't it?
I know, it's just lovely. But there's so many things, see, and you could also, if I go back onto the back, you could bring your regular pencil in and add a little bit of pencil in, and then bring your tortillon in and blend that out. So we're just using a different material, slightly different tools. If you wanted to as well, you could come in with your regular pen and we could tangle front or back and actually draw straight onto the top of it. So there are so many possibilities. I think the difference between this one and going regularly onto a normal tile is you've got that translucency. So I could actually bring some of this onto the back as well and then add in more of those, and you can start to get a little bit of depth forming, you see, so you're getting
Yeah.
the light and dark without even
It's a
trying.
very versatile medium, isn't it?
It's lovely to work with. I think once you've had a go at it, you'll be amazed. I mean, doing all of this, of course, you can see this one, I've got a background here, if I just bring that in, all in white. So I've not done any inking on that, nothing yet. But I've put the flowers where I want them. I've used the different sizes. I've added some of those little leaves in the background, put my little loops on, and then of course bringing the butterfly in and a little bit of ink and some of those little flowers. That's what you can actually create. I've kept all of the background white, just added a touch of little bits of shading in there on the back. My butterfly I've cut out separately, and again coloured on the top there, added a little bit of gel pens, things like that. And then my flowers, again, I've done them, but I've fussy cut them out and I've created this lovely little bouquet here. And of course, if you wanted to, you could build them up so you've got something slightly more three-dimensional with the different sizes as well, and sort of bring that in. The book, the instructions goes through all of that. But what if you wanted to do this and bring in the first plate?
Oh. Really
So
cool.
here's your larger butterfly. You've got the smaller ones, the flowers, but then I've extended the
Doesn't
plate
look like
to make
parchment,
a rectangle.
does it, when it's sort of made up like that?
It doesn't. It certainly doesn't. A few more sort of samples here. If I just quickly go through these, you can go a little bit larger.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So using the frames, even the sentiments, you can even, you know, emboss those if you want to. Just cutting the frame out and having the butterfly in. Using the little brads to move the wings. And again, this is just one little section to use to create a background. Another little one. Oh, shall I do it up? Can't have butterflies going upside down, there you go. But this one, heavily coloured around the outside, and then it's just been left in the middle there.
Yeah, really lovely.
That's just the frame and the little flower. Look at this one. So all of these can be done without, and of course this one here is the butterfly stencil. We've just created one out of the butterfly stencil there, and then done our little frame. So many different things you can do with it.
Yeah, and
But,
really,
yeah, that was just a quick technical show how.
Yeah, really
But
busy.
how you can do
On
it.
our way to 2/3 of this gone. So there's a lot of it in baskets as well at the moment. So once everyone checks out, who knows how many will be left. Remember, you're getting in here stencil, your parchment tile, and of course the instructions in there, and then everything in the box, which is, I mean, it's jam-packed full. So you've got your parchment tools in here. You also have 2 sets of your different instructions for the tiles that are included. You've got the mat, you've got these 2 elements here. Then of course you're getting the dry sheet in there, and you are getting the parchment in there. So it really is like a little hobby in a box, this one. You've got absolutely everything you need to get you started with that. Maybe today's going to be the day. Maybe with a pen you're sort of slightly less confident, but with a parchment tool you think, do you know what, I could give that a go. I'm going to start my tangling journey. $61.99 or $89.99. That's under £50, just under $72 if you are a platinum member. I need to let you know that Book 8 is limited stock. So if this is in your basket, please, please, please check it out, because that means less than 10% of our original stock is now remaining. That is going to be our next sellout, I think, at this rate. And we're also going to move on now and have another look, something new, loads of glorious new things today for us. It is this collection, just said, the 3-piece Tangle collection. You've got your bird in flight here, which comes, of course, with your stencil along with all of your instructions. You then also have the secret keyhole as well. Now, this is going to be great. You're going to put so many different things and designs on the inside of there. And then you've also got your art collection here, which is some of Sandra's favourite imagery for you to work on. A third of this has gone $47.99 or $69.65 if you wanted to go for this one. Do you think this might be a good starting point, Sandra, for someone that was wanting to take up tangling for the first time?
Yeah, I think it is, because you've already got those images, and I think you might look at those with the stencils and think there's no way I'm going to be able to ever do this. But just getting used to actually drawing or adding a little bit of colour to them, using the stencils as well as, and just bringing them in, it means it's not a blank page, and you can foil them.
Oh,
so,
wow.
yeah, I've got one here. Actually, I'm going to show you this. It's part
Amazing.
coloured, but look at this one, foiled.
Oh, wow.
If it's just, you know, you take it out the book and put it through your machine and then put it back in and then colour it. It's just divine. Look at that.
Really, really lovely that, isn't it?
that.
So how have you foiled that, Sandra?
I've put it through a foiling machine, so
Right.
it's almost like a laminator. If you get
Right,
the right
okay.
foil,
Yeah.
you can actually just put that in between. I've actually 2 pieces of parchment paper, foil over the top, pour it through, and then you peel it back off and it's stuck to
Delightful,
because it's
isn't it?
laser printed.
Yeah.
They'll stick.
Really, really
It's
lovely.
really
Very,
nice,
very
yeah.
busy on this again. You guys absolutely loving this one. Right, we're going to go back to Sandra.
Okay, so I'm miles away then. I was thinking, right, what am I putting through my keyhole? So, okay, first thing I've got here is I've numbered all my sections on my stencil. It actually matches what I've got, there you go, on the back of the book there. You've got all the numbers there. Match what you put on here to what you put on here, because that refers to all the instructions. So, what I've actually started with, I've put myself a vertical line in and I've put a horizontal line at the bottom, just to give me a little bit of a base so I know where I'm working from. And within this, I've given you 2 sizes. I've given you a larger and a smaller size keyhole. So it depends on what you're doing and what you want to sort of be creating there. So working up and down this sort of shape here, I've got a dot in the middle of these circles. I'm lining the dot up with that vertical line, and I'm going to come in with my pencil and I'm going to draw around the outside shape there, which is number 1, and then the outside or the inside, which is number 2 there. Okay, so I've got that kind of thing. I can come on in and I can join those up if I want to. And that gives me my first section. There you go. I think there's so many possibilities with this. There's so many little worlds you can create, and it's just wonderful how you work it. So I've got that shape. I've then got these 2. I've got quite a large piece here, and then I've got a smaller version. So what I can do here, I can line the base up of that line with my keyhole, so I can have it as wide or as narrow as I want. You could even put a couple of marks. There you go. Let's line this one up, see? Line it up. There you go. 1 there, 1 there, and draw that line in. If I want it symmetrical on the other side, we know by now with my stencils, if I put a little mark there, turn it over, line it up again. There it is. And I can actually put that line in there and know it's going to be symmetrical either side. So working from there.
It's very simple how that comes together, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? Let's put a line in here. And of course the instructions go through all of this. So don't think you're on your own and you've got to remember this. You don't have to. So I'm going to see how thickness of my line here. I'm going to put the thickness there as well. And the same on this side. So just follow my line there. Same on this side. And then I'm just going to give myself a little bit of perspective there and join those 2 together. If I now rub out, let's rub out that centre line and this bit here. There you go. There's my keyhole.
Amazing.
So I'm just going to pencil that bit in there. So again, every time you draw this keyhole, it's going to be longer, shorter, bigger, smaller. Everything's completely different every time. So looking at the scenes then, I want something to bring it out. So we do have a little mouse in this, and let's use that. So here he is. There's his little body. We've got a couple of different sizes there as well. So let's draw the body in. Notice it's slightly below the keyhole there.
Yep.
Again, I just want it so my mouse is looking in. So we need that little bit of perspective and sense. Let's draw him there. 2 little bubbles there. So let's put a couple of little loops on there. Little loop there. Let's give him a little nose. Let's put this in. And then a couple of little whiskers. And then around here it needs a little bit of a tail. I suppose we're coming back to that, where is the difference between San and Zen? You know, I'm actually creating an image, so we're using shapes to create that image to start with, and then the tangles are actually enhancing what we're doing. So there's quite a difference there. There we go.
Very clever how it is basic shapes that make up these as well, because I think a lot of you say to someone to draw a mouse, and say, well, I absolutely cannot. But actually what the instruction shows us is that we're just building up basic shapes to create something fabulous.
There it is. There's our little mouse. So let's just rub out the lines in between. Now what I would do, I wouldn't rub out lines as I was going. I would keep the lines very pale, go over with pen when I need to, and rub everything out afterwards.
Right.
So there's my little mouse sort of looking in. So let's lead it in. I want a couple of steps. So let's draw the little townhouse first. I'm going to draw a little house in here. So how on earth do you draw a house? 2 lines. Mark the top there. Let's have a little triangle on the top. Let's do a little shape around there. Flatten them together. And then I'm just going to give it a little line there, a little doorway. Again, the nice thing about this is if you want to actually go in and use straight edges all the time, yeah, but you don't have to. You could come in and create quite sort of quirky little windows and things. I think that's what gives it character, isn't it? Go maybe another one here, look. There we are. Maybe a little one there. Little chimney sort of sticking out at a funny angle. But that's just one of the houses. There's so many things you can do. So even steps, let's just sort of give myself a little bit of a pencil line, because I think steps, certainly when it's like this, you might want them to be a little bit older and rickety. Yeah. So if we draw the lines in a little bit wavy or dimpled on purpose. There you are. And then let's bring that one out. So it's quite a tall step, that, but there we go. Maybe before we sort of get carried away, let's put a little plant pot in. And again, all these things I do in pencil first, just so you know where you're going with it. Some little loops, creating some little flowers. So this is the tangly bit. This is the creative element. You've created the world around it, and now you're enhancing it. There you go. And then some little lines, taking those in, some little leaf shapes. We've done those all day. We've done lots of those little leaf shapes. But you see, then we're actually bringing those steps out into the real world, so to speak. So you see, it's sort of leading you in then, and then you can create another little house. And again, it looks like I'm doing it in mid-air, but I think that's quite nice, because then you can start adding bits in. So if I bring one in, I've done a bit more work on. From there, I've not put the mouse in here, but I wanted to show you that stamp roll.
That's incredible.
But I've actually drawn the keyhole and the houses behind, and then I used the roll. I actually took it, because it's sort of, it's got a bit of tack in it, but not too much. Right. So what I actually did...
That's sold out and gone.
I'll not show you too much then, but yeah, stick it on, and I've cut the shape out. Right. And then I've used my flowery stamps rather than draw everything, and I've stamped all over the tile there. There's my lovely, so be bold, be fabulous, be unique, one of my sentiments, but then I've put underneath, in your new home.
Oh, that's nice.
So if I take this, now if you're careful with this, you could use it again. See, it just sort of comes off and it doesn't damage, well, hopefully not, but it has been on sort of for a while, but it shouldn't. There you go. Well,
it just gives you added perspective, doesn't it?
Yeah, so I know that my flowers here are all behind, and again, I'd save that, so don't get rid of it. Stick that onto something there. So same with this, I've done a bit of a border look, so I didn't want it to go into my border. There it is. A little bit there, but that's okay, we can deal with that. I'm going to just deal with it now, a little bit. Come on. There you go. So let's do a little bit of colour with this, because you've seen me draw a lot, but sometimes people say, well, how do you add the shade? How do you add the colour? Where does that sort of work? So working on something like this, I'm going to work just with a pencil. and I'm going to come in between each of these lines. Now you don't have to be a perfectionist colourist, you really don't. I know we say that a lot, but you know, if you're using alcohol markers, you need a little bit of skill, you know, just to blend your lines and things. But with this, I'm just adding pencil. See? Let's do the same on the other side. I'm going to add a little bit either side of that ribbon as well. But although we could come in fairness, and use a bit of a gel pen or something in there. So working my way around. And again, you see, I'm not being particularly neat. I'm sticking sort of within the line there, but I'm not being seriously neat with it. There we go. And then sort of a little bit down here, a bit down here. Back in with my tortillon.
She's just, Debbie's just taking coffee orders here, is what's happening. I'm just trying to sign to her with milk, no sugar, but it's quite a difficult one to sign, it turns out, Sandra.
Oh, Debbie, Leslie's got my tea bags.
I'm off. I'll go get them sorted.
Is it table service?
Yeah.
So this is where the beauty of these little really rolled up bits of paper start to create something a bit more three-dimensional here, because we're now building up. And this is the bit we enjoy as well, isn't it? We know we want to draw it, but we want to see it come to life as well. Just move that out of the way a minute. So we're bringing this in.
People are naming the mouse.
Oh, really?
Nosy, Squeaky, Mousy.
Mousy.
Pouty. Patty's loving this keyhole, I was trying to say there. Doodling, my doodling looks like this. I don't know, it was called Sanntangle, says Beth. Well, you're halfway there.
Yeah.
Beth, who else was it here earlier? Said, I'm trying to find this. I haven't, if you haven't tangled, this is Chris that said that if you haven't tangled, you really need to give it a go. It's amazing. It helped lots of people in so many different ways. Loving the butterfly as well. And the lovely Lynn says, multitasking at the moment, watching Jan on Hobby Maker, making cards at the moment, Sandra is Santangling, and Jan's colouring, so it feels pretty chilled in the house today. There you are.
Absolutely, yes. That's lovely, isn't it? Just sort of adding these little bits, and I think the nice thing with it is you can integrate it into whatever craft you do. So if you're, I don't know, if you're into your woodwork, you can create lovely designs on your boxes and things. If you're into paper craft, you can see what we're doing. Fabrics, of course, you can tangle onto fabrics. If you're into, as we now know, parchment, even applique those butterflies, look lovely on applique. Or even this, you could applique the keyhole, couldn't you, and have these little houses as different fabrics and things like that. But again, look, I'm not colouring in, look, I'm just adding a little bit. Maybe a little bit either side the plant pot. A little bit here. So you're making your own little world up here. You know, I've got little townhouses and things. Look, even a little swing on my tree there.
It looks quite nice. I wouldn't mind living there.
Yeah, it looks quite a nice little area, doesn't it? You know, no cars. I think it'd be terrible in snow, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Let's put a few of those in. And of course, if you wanted to, you could colour the whole of the background, and you could have it as evening and put some little fairy lanterns and things hanging off. But, instructions in the booklet give you 3 different variations. So you've got the townhouse one, you've got one with little toadstools in there.
Cute.
And you've got one that's a little mouse with an open book at the front of it. And you can draw the door in, and then it depends whether you want to draw the door open or closed, I suppose, as to what you see in the background.
I'm always surprised how much is it tortillon it's called, moves the pencil around.
Yeah, look at this, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It just really changes things up a bit, really brings it to life. And of course, because we've got those lovely flowers around the outside, it's giving it that sense of depth that we're after. You know, we could have some little lights on in some of the windows there if you wanted to. Now we've got, see these little flowers here, we've actually got them drawn here. So let's just bring a little bit of that pink in that I used there, and just add a little bit of colour in there. Just sort of bringing that in. And I don't know, see, so many things you could do. Let's add a little bit of pink there too. And let's bring a little bit in on those. And just a touch pencil around the outside there. Okay. But, I'll show you some samples in a minute of the.
It's just amazing. I'm always blown away how it comes together, how it evolves, and how it's literally small elements all built up together that make something fabulous.
Yeah, when you actually look at the stencil, it was just a few circles and a few little shapes there. And we'll go back and finish the steps as well. I know I haven't quite done it, but it's nice. I like flitting from one thing to the other, see, and I get the ideas. I want to see how it's going to look, but then there you go. Just bringing that in. And then, if you're not into your colouring, you could just pick out little bits like I've done, the flowers, and just add a touch of something there, just to bring that in. There you go. It's just lovely, isn't it?
Really, really stunning.
So if I bring some samples, you see how that's going. And of course then, looking at my little card. Again, we talked about those. No, they've gone, sorry. But look, I could slide that in. And that's how you can send it. But then somebody could take that out. They don't have to keep the card, but
Beautiful.
They can keep that. But yeah, so, where are we? I've sort of got it organised under here, but then I haven't. Does that make sense? I've got so many different things. What have I done with them? I've lost them.
No worries, I'll give you a second. Let me
Give
just
me a
recap
second to find them.
what
They
you're
can't have
getting.
gone far.
Let me recap what you've got in here in the Tangle collection. So you're going to get the bird in flight in here, of course, all the details and instructions to enable you to put this together expertly. Expert tuition, of course, from Sandra. And that's the thing, it's the quality of the education which really makes this super achievable. The secret keyhole is coming in here, and you're also going to get as well this art collection, which is some of Sandra's all-time favourite images brought to you here, which is amazing. $47.99, $69.65 is your price on those. I think Sandra's tracked them down.
I've tracked them down. Here we go. So here's one. I'll just move that out of the way. Here's the one with the little toadstools. I've got a little butterfly in the front there, but there's my little mouse. It reminds me of the sugar mice I used to have when I was little.
Isn't it?
But you've got a lovely evening scene there, which is beautiful. But just using the mouse on its own.
Adorable.
It's adorable, isn't it? But what about, here you go, here's my town scene.
That's
incredible. So we've not got the mouse on there, but you see the steps take you in.
It's like an alpine village, isn't it?
Yeah,
I love
lead you all the way through to something. Of course, the bricks on the outside give you that feel that you're looking inwards. What about this one? What about this one?
That's cute.
So lots of little mice here, sort of having a look through. And then, of course, if you wanted to, you could extend it to go larger.
Oh, wow.
So look at this one. This one, a little bit of explanation. We've got our wolf for our natives. This is the stag turned into a giraffe. Birds in flight. We've got the little birdhouse from the stags. And this actually design has come from Book 8. I think that's a lovely one to sort of finish that bit on, to say you could actually mix everything together. And if you think, okay, I want to go bigger, you can extend it. Once you get the idea, you know what you're doing. So.
Amazing. Well, Sandra, it's been an absolute pleasure, as it always is. You're going to be out of this at 7 again, aren't you, in the UK? That's 2 p.m. East Coast, 11 a.m. West Coast. What can we expect from that later show?
Oh, definitely going to do the wreath. And then, oh, goodness me, what else have we got? I've got a list, so I don't have to remember it. But of course, if we've got any stamps, I can sort of show the stamps again.
I think they might be gone by then. I know they were limited. They were limited.
Butterflies,
They're
all sorts of
dangling.
things.
Hang on. We'll definitely have Sandra back with us. Make sure if you've got anything Sanntangle in your basket, you check it out, because it is unbelievably busy at the moment over on the website. We're going to take a short pause, and I'm going to be back with Debbie and that amazing launch on the other side of this.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the Crafters Companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook. where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Here at Crafters TV, it couldn't be easier to get your hands on the latest crafty must-haves. Leave the hard work to us while you shop from the comforts of your own living room. Head to the Crafters Companion website to see our full crafty range, or hit the Shop the Day button to see all the new and exciting products featuring on Crafters TV. Once you've filled your cart, leave it to us to get your crafty goodies to you in super quick time, so you can get on with being creative. Crafters Companion, making crafty shopping a breeze.
Our craft experts come from all over the UK to HQ up in the northeast, and here they are telling you a little bit about where they're from and what it's famous for.
For the last nearly 30 years, just coming up for 30 years, I have lived in Nottingham, and that's where I still live, and I absolutely love it. Now, anybody that knows Nottingham knows it's famous for Robin Hood, and obviously I'm one of the descendants from Robin, because we're Robin's sons. So yes, I like to think that we are a descendant of Robin Hood somewhere along, obviously my husband's line.
Well, originally I'm from West Yorkshire, but I live in Norfolk at the minute. And Norfolk is beautiful. I think it's famous for the Broads, the Norfolk Broads. It is a beautiful holiday destination, and we moved there to be nearer to my mother and father-in-law, and oh, I just don't regret it. It's the most amazing place in the world.
So I live in Yorkshire. I'm actually based in Sheffield, which is one of the cities in Yorkshire, and I'm born and bred, absolutely. And the thing that it's most famous for, which if people aren't aware, is that we're known as the Steel City. So lots of steel industry in the past, creating Sheffield steel, of course, stainless steel. Some of them are still working. There are some of the foundries still down in the city centre, but I live right on the very outskirts, and I'm very lucky that I live in a rural part of the area. It's lovely and green, countryside, little picturesque village, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
I thought she was from Rotherham. Anyway, we're going to be back. We are back. We're back in the studio. Debbie is back with me. You're feeling fresh, revitalised, like a coiled spring. Yeah, you've made me a coffee. I'm very appreciative.
Yes, been had a little chat with Brent and Nicola in the office. Actually, there's a new man in there. I need to introduce myself because I saw this man in there that I didn't recognise and I don't know who it was.
Have you not said hello yet?
No, I don't know who it is. Oh. It's who? Oh, have we got somebody new? I didn't realise. I just saw this and I'm thinking, is it a trainee or is that? So I didn't ask.
Sam, apparently.
Oh, his name's Sam. Oh, I'll go and introduce myself after the show.
I haven't spoken to him yet. There's a new man in there. Actually, I've heard there's a new man in the office. I'm off. That's what let me just remind you the details of this then. That brand new launch. It's an expansion pack, if you will, for the Say It With Style. And it's all about you, which is amazing. $24.99 or $29.95 is your price. Under £20 or $24 for Platinum members. Really, really busy on this. So many different things that you can do with it. So Debbie's showing you lots of different ideas through the wake-up call and in the earlier first part of this show. And again, here you can see some of the things you can do. Those little embellishments that you struggle with, those banners, those little topper sentiments, all taken care of, Debbie, aren't they?
Yes, honestly, everything taken. I mean, that's just a little tiny percentage of what's on that full sheet of stamps. And we say a sheet, it's like a panel stamp system with matching dies that go over, make it really easy to cut out, and hey presto, you've got your banners, you've got your beautiful, and I say your banners with the lovely tabs missing where you can thread things through like ribbons, and we've got it all covered because we've put ribbons and we've put twine in this latest edition. I'm going to call it the add-on because for me it is an add-on to this fabulous system that we have that launched earlier on in the year with our Sarah. It's an absolute crafter's essential. It's one that you will use over and over again. And if you know, if you're brand new to crafting, seriously, if you get this today, you're covered for absolutely everything you can think of in terms of occasions, sayings, different kinds of things that you want, from happy birthdays to anniversaries to deepest sympathies and Christmas, everything's in there. So if you're brand new to crafting, if this had been out when I first started crafting, I honestly think it would have been a little bit of a lifesaver, because especially when you can multi-cut and multi-stamp in one swoop, it's absolutely amazing. I love it.
And great that you've got it in all those different themes as well, which makes it so easy. You know exactly what you're looking for, you know precisely where you're going to find it, and you also know you've got loads of different options for that scene as well. If you want to go for the original Say It With Style, I'll take you through that in a little while, but it is available over on the website in the UK and in the US. Half price deal for you if it's in the UK, $94.99, in the US, $114.95. So do go and snap that up. But I know Debbie's got loads she wants to share with us on this.
Yeah, well, I'm going to do a bit of both, and I'm going to put you know, we talked about doing quite a few bits. I'm actually going to do a scrap layout page for this one, but I am going to use my All About You one, just so I can show you again both of those and see all the different sentiments on there. I am going to use, though, on my scrap layout, a mixture of All About You and then other ones that are in the original Say It With Style, because they literally are things that you can mix and match, so you can actually use, you know, both of these, all of these, with the rest of that kit as well. So first things first, we'll do a couple of bits of stamping. I'm going to use some of the cardstock that's in that kit. Again, I'm going to place it onto my stamping mat. Well, I say my stamping mat, my stamping magnetic base. I am going to hold it down with some low-tack tape. So if I grab my low-tack tape out, we're going to pop down just a couple of, and this is just to anchor it down to the platform, basically, so it doesn't move. And again, I'm just going to put that bit on there. There we go, make sure it's a nice clean surface. I'm going to keep it really simple for this last 45 minutes of the show. Again, think of all the different things that you can be stamping this onto. I'm just going to line this up. Again, perfectly sized. That cardstock that we've put in there has been perfectly sized for this in mind. So I'm going to just drop that down onto there, pick it up, and then I'm going to stamp. I think I'll use my quick dry ink pad. I'm going to go in with the black one. Don't worry about, and you know, your misses, so you can see it going in between, because this is a really very spongy, juicy ink pad, but it means that there's no smudging with a quick dry, which is why I do like to use it, especially when it comes to stamping. But you can use your other inks as well, so you could use your waterproof, or your, you know, your any of your finesse ones you could use as well. But I'm going to go in with the quick dry, lightly tap it across. Don't worry, like I said, if it's gone in between where the flatter part is to the razor, it doesn't matter. It won't make any difference whatsoever when you're stamping. But again, give it a good coverage. If I've missed any area, I can go back in. So we're going to just drop that down. Again, when we're using this stamping platform...
Colours are lovely that you're getting in the cardstock as well, aren't they, Debbie?
Oh, lovely. I love that. I honestly think it's absolutely fabulous. And then cardstock envelopes, card blanks, to be able to just stamp straight onto die cut into, with lovely colour themes as well that match the twine and match the ribbon. So again, absolutely fab. So I'm going to just take that across, all those stamps. Anything that I've missed, I can go back into, which is why we call it an hero tool. Even though it's not the hero tool today, it's absolutely an hero tool. Can you see that I've missed little areas? I can go back in, place it back down, push back down into that centre, go over the areas that I've missed. It may be that I've just not inked it. I've not given the right amount of ink on there. Perhaps I missed it when I was tapping down. Perhaps you've got dexterity problems. Lots of other things, you know, that you could be missing. Again, I think there, I've actually just missed the ink off there. So
some people love to do a double stamp, don't they? Well, Jan likes to sort of double stamp as standard.
And the reason
double stamp is standard.
Exactly. A double, is that what she calls it? Double standard?
That's what she should call it. I've just said it there.
I was going to say, I can't even say double stamping standards. I like that. But it is nice to do a double stamp. You get a deep, the more layers you put down, and especially with the quick dry, the more layers you put down, you get a deeper, darker stamped image. It's entirely up to you. But you've all got ink pads in your stash. If you haven't, go over to that website. You will find all of the inks in there. Again, I'm just going to take that and go over all the areas. But it gives it a layered effect. As long as you've made sure that you've held it down into place and gone back over, you won't get that ghosting that I was talking about earlier. And if I just show you the movement that you've got in there, can you see it? You don't want that to move when you're stamping, which is why you pick an area and you stamp back in. Do you know, I keep missing that area. Let me just go back into it. I'm thinking, have I missed something? Let's go back down. That's better. Oh, actually, do you know? No, guess what I did?
What?
I didn't go from the centre, I went up to the top. Talk about that movement. That's how I've got that little bit ghosted. Not going to worry though, I'm not going to worry. But that was actually
being
done on
ghosted,
purpose.
story of my life, Debbie.
I did it on purpose, Joe, for the purpose of the demonstration. I should have put my hand down in the centre, then got up to there.
Then moved, yeah.
I just went straight up there, didn't I? I remember, because I saw it on the screen then. But absolutely, make sure that you stamp down into that centre where you started, then go over those areas, and I wouldn't have got that then. However, not going to worry, it's only one out of all of these, and there's a lot on there. So I'm going to lift it off again. Before I actually die cut though, I'm going to stamp the other one, and we'll put it through together at the same time. I've got my large machine out, got my large plates, and this is when you can be making that multitude of stamped sentiments. Let's bring in, bring a white one in. Let me put that tape back down. I'll reuse that tape.
I'm glad I placed my order during wake-up call, says Mary Beth. Mary Pat says, I totally miss seeing the metal dies when I received my All About You. That is where classes are so important until Debbie demonstrated it. Yeah, so the All About You, the dies then, Debbie, they're the ones that you're using from the original Sacred Style, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. They are. So if you was getting this as a standalone thing, you would have to snip out these areas. You'd have to snip these out. That's why I would say that it's really important for me in terms of for it to work, the system to work, how it was intended. It's important that you have got the whole
Absolutely,
kit.
yeah.
And if you haven't got it, we have got it on the show at a great price.
Available, and it's half price as well at that,
Yeah.
which is rather lovely, isn't it? Any questions you've got about this, you can get them into me. Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion if you are across over on YouTube. Diane's loving your nails with sparkly tips today, Debbie.
Yeah, keeping them as plain as I can, but with just a little bit of sparkle. That's what I'm doing. Right, I'm just going to put that on there for the time being because I realised I had that down. Let's go back in. I've realised as well I've got green on there, but I think I'll get away with it. I think I'll get away with it. Let's put that down. Again, I'm just going to pick it up. I held my paper down, didn't I, Joe? I think I put my tape on there. Yes, you did, Debbie. And then we're going to go in with our ink pad again. So if I just bring in this one, give it a good ink all over. Little light taps. Cover over. And you're good to go. If you find it a little bit awkward to go in there, this has got an inch tip. So how our ink pads are working, they've got that little oval tip. You can go in and be a bit more precise. So just turn it, dab it, and you should be fine. Because obviously the legs, you know, my legs are in the way there. So I know that if I just tip it and tilt it, I can get that covered. So it's not a problem. All you need is just roughly those crosses to be down to help you when it comes to lining up your die over your stamped image. So again, I'm just going to give that a good coverage. I think I've covered everywhere. Just to be on the safe side, I'll go back over.
And even you heat embossed as well with this earlier, didn't you, Debbie?
Yeah.
So brilliant if you want to be able to do that.
Absolutely. Then I'm going to just turn that over across again. Again, central part, so where your crosshair is, if you put your pressure down there straight away and then go round all the rest of the stamps, you're not moving the platform then, so it's not getting the best way to describe it, a wibble wobble, a wiggle woggle. What's a wiggle woggle? A wiggle wobble. It's not wibbling and wobbling everywhere. It's not moving.
Exactly.
I know what I mean,
I know what
Joe.
you mean, Debbie.
I know what I mean.
I speak fluent Debbie, so it's all right.
It's good.
Everyone at home does as well.
Do. We was just having this discussion in the main office with the things that I say. And you know, it's just the way my kids call it a Debbieisms, or as they call it, mummisms, because it's just the way I am. I can't help the way I am. I don't think I'll ever change either. But again, look at that, perfect. Apart from, look, you see that little area again? So we'll go back in. If it's just an area that I've missed in terms of stamp, but again, I'm just going to push down into that centre and go back into that, and that should rectify that. Absolutely fine, perfect. All I'm going to do now is just, again, wipe your stamp down. I'm going to be really honest with you here now that it's usually a cloth that I just wipe over the top and then leave the rest of the ink on there. I know that sounds really gross, but it's just, I just take the excess ink off.
Okey-doke.
With reason, because I think you get a better stamp every time you stamp if you've got a bit of ink up. Does that make sense? It's having a clean stamp can go against it sometimes. Yeah, so it's having a bit of a you know, a bit already on there can give you a crisp clean
Like when you
stamp.
use your frying pan at home, you just wipe it out afterwards.
I do. I give
Yeah,
it
of course.
a clean wipe out. I don't
Yeah.
mean like, I don't, because especially with the Teflon coated kind of ones. You
Yeah,
don't wanna
just
be
give it a
ruining them,
wipe.
do you?
It's all right.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, let me just pop that there for a second. Let me just take this off, and I'm going to try and clean up as I'm going along. There we go. Pop that on there, and then lift that up, and take that off, and then we'll put these on together. We'll line them up together. We'll pop them on together. Just make sure. Remind me, Joe. I've put my stamps on me. I've left them on my platform because I know what I'm like. But yeah.
It's on your platform, don't forget.
So I've got both of them, and now I've got both my dies. So let me just give these a tap because I'm building them up and not cleaning them out. Make sure, especially on your tabs areas, make sure that there's no paper left in from when you've previously cut, because it affects the cut. The more you let it build up, the more it won't cut. So what I'm going to do first, I'll line this one up. So let's make sure I've got that in the right place. Yep. Let me bring in my large platform for my Gemini. So I'll bring in this one in first. Turn it this way, and then we're going to line these up. So again, all you're needing to make sure is these three crosses are matched up against the crosses that are on the die. I'm going to have to do it by eye, so apologies, Charlotte, while I just lift it up. And then, yeah, so just so I can see it, because I feel like I've shrunk today. I probably haven't. I think it's just the fact that I haven't got me. I just don't think I've got my big platform pumps on that I normally have.
Oh.
So I feel like I'm 10 times
Do you
smaller
want to stand
than
on
I
that
normally
coffee
am.
table? I'll will it over for you.
Oh, you wouldn't want to see me stand on that. I'd probably bow it. No. It's a beautiful coffee table. I have my eye on that coffee table.
It's a bit wobbly though, apparently.
Well, then there's no way I'm going on that then, really. Were you trying to set me up for a fall? Quite literally.
No, absolutely not.
Right, I'm just going to make
Yes,
sure.
Johnny's saying me and him will split the 250 quid.
Is that what he
much you
said?
get now? 250 quid? I thought you got
that's
50
good.
quid. Johnny sent them a video of Leo and they didn't use it.
Did you send a video? Is that programme still going?
What happened to him? What was he doing? Yeah. Oh.
Spoil sports.
Not
Now-
funny enough. Goodness me.
Oh my days! I think we could send some clips of us in here, and we could do that, couldn't we? Now again, as you can see, you're just going to line those crosses up. Now on this one, you've got 4, because if you look at the difference between the two, you've got 17 on this. Let's have a count: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. There's a bit more on there. So you've got 4 crisscrosses to line up. Now, if you can't, like I said, if you just pull it up to yourself and then give it a little wiggle into place, but make sure they're lined up because it will make a difference when you're cutting. So, for example, if I have that off centre, then I'm going to miss, can you see this one here? I'm going to cut into it, and it will spoil that. So, I mean, really, to be fair, if it's just 1 or 2, I wouldn't worry too much because you've got all the rest. However, it's important that you get that bit. If you get that bit lined up properly, you're good to go and you're good to die cut. And I think that looks about right. Let's just have a quick peek. By eye again. I'm doing it by eye again. Yeah, I'm going to just drop that down for a second and just pop that on because I want some low-tack tape. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I moved it again, Joe. Let me just pop that in.
Okie doke.
And line that up. I'm going to get that on my Gemini plate. Now, I'm using my large Gemini plates here, and look how many, if you think the quantity that I've got on here, Joe, look how many there is. There is a lot on there. So again, just going to position. That looks about right from this angle. Yep. I'm going to just hold that down again, a little bit of low-tack tape. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pop over, I'm just going to hold that place with my hand. I'm going to pop on our plastic shim. Just make sure that's not moving anywhere. Our magnetic shim and the other cutting plates. Of course, what you could do is you could put your magnetic shim over the top and hold your metal die into place. And then run it through. Now, fingers crossed that hasn't moved. We all know the power of a Gemini is phenomenal.
It's a crunchy one, this die, isn't it?
It's a what you want?
It's a crunchy one.
Crunchy one, yes. Yeah, well, if you think about it, this is paper. It's like a... what weight would you call that, Joe? Have a feel.
I think it's about a 140.
No, but I think it's a bit more. I
Do you?
think that's a 160, 180. Just...
I think because our paper pads are 180. I think that's a bit less than a paper pad.
Do you think so? Oh, well, I thought it was verging on a 160, 180. I wonder if our Johnny could find out for us.
Got a good wobble on it.
Bless him. Now, I'm just going to lift off because, again, I'm not sure I've got all my tape, but look at this. They just drop out. So, again, I'm just going to release my tape because I've realised my tape's straight across my die cut piece. But again, if I just drop all those out, let's get rid of, be careful with your tape, guys. Don't ripping it off like a band-aid like Debbie just did there. Let's get rid of the waste part. Chuck that one. Let's get rid of the tape. I think I went a little bit OTT with my tape there, I'm not going to lie. And it's got stuck around the other base of the plate, so let's just take that back. When you are taking our low-tack tape off, just give it a gentle pull towards you and you'll be absolutely fine in taking that off. So again, not the band-aid version like I just did a second ago. Look, how much tape did I put down on this one? I didn't think I'd put that much on. I would have thought I'd put a couple of pieces on. Clearly, I didn't realise how much I'd put on there. So that's all my sentiments cut out, and if I just flick those onto there, look how many we've got in this straight away. That's a lot of sentiments that are stamped, that are die cut, that have got this lovely banner shaped feel to it as well. This is when you could be taking your inks and going around your inks, but look how many we've got to play around with. And that's what we're going to do with these. We're going to have a play around with some, so I'm just going to push those to one side, because we do have as well, and if I just bring this in, because I'm going to bring some cardstock in that matches. In fact, I think I will cut into one of these. Where's my dies gone? Obviously, with all of these, you've got with much, you've got makes the world go round. You need to add these two elements to it. So I'm going to cut out the word love and the word you. So a bit of both on there.
It's really, it adds something to them having these dies included, doesn't it? A different element compared to the previous ones that you might have had in the collection.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, it's such a lovely collection, it really is. Let me just, that colour, yeah, we'll have that one. I'm going to match that in. Now normally I wouldn't do this because I feel like I'm wasting the sheet that's meant for my stamps, but I just want it to colour match with my theme that I've got going off, so I'm just going to use a little bit of it. Pop that to one side. Bring in me, where's my mini gone? Oh, it's here. Let's bring in my mini. And let's pop that down. And again, this is like I said to you, Joe, the whole reason behind this is it's the adding on to your projects. So maybe you bought quite recently, let's think of a new launch that was launched recently that's non-Christmas, Joe. Can you think of one? Hello, Joe.
Sorry, Debbie. Miles away there.
It's all right. Well, you're a man. You were having a swig, weren't you? I
was messaging our social media superstar actually.
Was you really? Oh, you little devil. Yeah. What I was saying was, think of a collection that we've had out recently that's been non-Christmas.
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 Hummingbird.
Oh, yeah. So maybe you've got the hummingbird collection at home. You could make your hummingbird collection, but you could personalise it and say it with style. They add in with the say it with style sentiments to it to give it a different feel as well. So that's the whole idea behind this. It's those extra pieces that you add to projects that literally elevates, finish off beautifully as well. But yeah, I just
It'll go with anything, won't it? Absolutely.
Yeah,
any style, any collection.
Thing, yeah, every single thing it will go through. I think I wanted to cut that out.
And nothing to stop you, I guess, using pattern papers from your collection and stamping your sentiments onto pattern paper.
And you know, I was just going to come to that. Absolutely. Take a sheet of pattern paper, cut it to the size of the stamp panel, and then stamp onto that. And again, you could use your heat embossing techniques or whatever it is that you want to do onto it in terms of all your stamping things that you've got, like quick dry, opaque. You could even do it with water reactive if you wanted to. You would have to stamp a few times with that because it's a different ink, proprietary ink in there. So anyway, you could do all that and then stamp onto it, and honestly, that would look lovely. Because imagine having it cut out in matching paper, maybe like the hummingbird that you might have got, because was that the one that flew out really fast?
Oh
remember
yeah,
rightly.
no pun intended.
Yeah. I'm just trying to remember because there's been a few that have really flown. So yeah, absolutely. That's things that you could do. I'm keeping it really nice and clean and simple in terms of using the cardstock that comes within the kit itself. But once those papers have gone, just cut down to the size of the stamp platform. In fact, the actual size of it, and I'll give you the proper correct measurements, is 5 3/4 by 8 3/4. So if you cut your cardstock down or your papers down to that size, stamp onto it and then place it over the top, it's the same thing every single time. Line up your crosses onto the stamped ink crosses. You will not go wrong. You'll get these beautiful stamps and sayings instantly. And again, when you look how many's in there now to play around with, there's a lot there, and that's just in one pass of the machine. It's just, honestly,
like a little production line going, weren't you?
Absolutely you would, yeah, definitely you would. Now I'm going to bring in where I'm going with this one, because I'm going to make a little scrapbook page, she says. I'm going to try and be careful, in fact, just because I've realised the fan's on me. So just give me a second while I move all my bits so that they don't blow anywhere.
No problem at all.
Not losing any more, although I did find it.
You grab your bits, Debbie. I'm going
very
to just share with you the original Say It With Style and what you are getting included in there, because of course you're going to need the original to use. I mean, you could use it without, but to use it effectively, you're absolutely going to need the original Say It With Style included in there. And this is an excellent system, which is exactly what it is, because what you're getting in here is all of the wallet services. You can store all of your sentiments in there once you have created them. On this page here, this is where your die would go. Someone's had my die out of here, but of course you've got the two dies on there which allow you to cut all of that out, which are this one and this one, essentially. So they're going to give you all your different banner and tag shapes, and then you've got all of your different sentiments in there. So all of your birthday wishes in here, your time to celebrate. Then you've got just to say. So these are all the starting collections, family ties, and then also you've got 'Tis the Season in there as well. And this is something that's going to grow and evolve with you as we release more and more new themes to go within here. That's not all you get though, because then what you're actually getting as well is a stationery set too. Very, very busy for this in the UK today. And in here you've got loads of stuff. You've got ribbon and twine, all of your different card panels. These all cut beautifully to size to go with the dies themselves. You've got your envelopes in there, and you've got your card blanks. That's where my dies are, Debbie. And then you've got the dies in there as well. So you're getting both.
I'm being cut in.
Both of the die sets. They're in there. But again, a brilliant collection at a brilliant price as well. $94.99 if you're in the UK. That's half price. It is available for you in the US as well. You've also got a half price. It's $114.95, I think, off the top of my head. Brilliant value. However you are going for it, wherever you are, and just lovely. I think lovely too as well. Not only have it, Debbie, but to be able to collect all of the different add-ons, because there's no saying once this sells out that we'll get this back in stock. You know, it's just a case of there'll be small production runs of these. So nice to be able to collect them like our craft kits and have all of them.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not sure how many more will be coming out. We may be adding some more to it. It's nice to get it so it completes. It's a bit like having a collection. It's like, do you know when you collect magazines and things like that, or like, for example, our Crafters Companion magazine. It's like having the one missing. It always doesn't feel right for me, it doesn't. It's like having the whole thing. But it's nice to have the whole complete collection as well, because of all the different occasions that it covers. And if you imagine you've got all those different tabs into there, that's a lot of stamped sentiments that you've got ready to do. Like I said, we just loaded the plate up, the full Gemini plate. You could load that up, cut them out in multiples, pop them into the front of your wallet, and then when you're ready to use them, because it doesn't have to necessarily be something that you're going to do and then use, you could also take the dies back and you could double layer up to create a bit of a shadow drop behind the back of each one of them. When I did my craft along with the original Say It With Style, that's exactly what I did. I cut these out in plain. I didn't stamp onto them, but I used them as little features underneath to create a bit of a drop shadow if you wanted to. I'm not going to do that today because I don't want to waste my cardstock.
Fair enough.
I think that's why my cardstock's dwindled somewhat, because that's exactly what I've been doing. But yeah, you could take inks around them and just give them a little distressed finish. You could take your colouring medium, so you could take alcohol pens and colour into them. You could even take your art liners or your fine tip and you could do a little bit of Santangling into them as well. You could tangle into these and they could be that finished product. So lovely Sandra's done some beautiful demos for you in that last hour. You could be doing that.
Just tangling in the flowers on any of your pattern papers.
Absolutely, exactly.
What's your favourite thing to tangle?
Oh, you've got me now, because I love doing the freestyle, but I love tangling onto tiles. I'm quite addicted to tangling onto tiles, I'm not going to lie. I bought myself recently, when Sandra was here last time, the mini ones, the little mini micro ones, and then I bought the big macro tiles. I haven't delved into that one just yet. And my next project that I want to do is the boards. Do you know when she brings the lovely boards for you as well? That's my next project that I want to do. Shall we continue with our project?
Yes,
So what I've done is I've taken, now again, I did say we've got some beautiful papers, pads on the show. This is that gorgeous Country Lane. Every time I look at this paper pad.
Do we still have this one in stock?
It's beautiful. Yeah, it's 12 by 12 on the show today. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. And I'm going to use it as a little scrapbook page. So I've already taken a piece of, now this came from, do you remember the textured luxury, they were textured and luxury and linen card in the 12 by 12 pads when we launched the Broderie
on glaze.
Thank you. It's from that pad.
Amazing.
And it's from that pastel-y one that I've used. So I've kept that one at 12 by 12. I've just trimmed me scrapbook page. I've actually gone with a little bit of a bigger frame than I normally do. Normally I take 1/4 of an inch off, but what I've done with this 12 by 12 is I cut it to 11.5 by 11.5, and then I've just distressed around the edges using ink. Now the ink that I used at home was the grasshopper, not the pine tree, but again, I think someone's been in our studio, Joe, and rifled through our ink pads because there are a ton missing, grasshopper is one of them. I don't know anything. I don't know. I'm going to search between the break.
Who are we going to blame? I mean, normally I'd blame you, but you're here, so
yeah, you
I'll
can't
have to blame
blame me
somewhere
today,
else.
mister. You can't blame me today. Who was here
Craig's
last?
back. Craig's been back. He can blame Craig again now. There you go. It's either you or Craig, so that's it.
You see, it could be Craig. It could be Craig. It could
well
Craig
be.
might not have realised that next door is well stocked when he was in there, so he might have took them in there to help him.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's been doing.
Let's blame Craig. He's had a hiatus from the blame, so we can start blaming him again.
Oh God, it was so, I can't tell you how blooming lovely it was to see him and catch up. In fact, so much so I should have had my dinner at 12 o'clock. I told Christina, have my spud ready for 12 o'clock.
Right.
1 o'clock I rocked up.
Oh no.
Because I've been talking to Craig that long.
I bet your spud was bone dry by 1 o'clock.
No, she'd seen me chatting to him. She realised what I was doing.
Right.
And she thought, no, and she kept it for me so it was fresh. She's using an initiative there, aren't she, producer Johnny? Absolutely. She's fabulous. Now, I'm just going to pop that on there. Again, like I said, I've just popped a little bit of, an ink round there to distress it a little bit. Now, I've actually used as well, I've taken another sheet. I have got a picture of my beautiful family. My granddaughter, my grandson and my daughter. This is our Tash. But I wanted to frame it a little bit. So I've taken those gorgeous timeless borders that we've got, and the edgeable ones that we've got on later tonight. And this is that beautiful butterfly one that I've just cut into. And again, just to tie it all in, because there's lots of peaches and pinks and greens in this, I've just literally cut it into a piece of cardstock that measured in at, if I remember rightly, it was 4 by 8, just shy of 9. Yeah, I think it were 8 3/4 by 4 inches, and I've just cut into there and just given it a little touch up, tickle with the ink pad. Again, I use grasshopper on mine, just to give it a little bit of definition and just to make it pop against that pink. And it's the same colour pink that I've used for this one. Because my photo's 8 by 6, I've made sure that this was slightly bigger. And so this measured in, if I remember rightly, I cut it to 7 3/4 by 8 3/4, just so I can pop. And it's adding a little bit of texture with your scrapbook pages. The lovely thing about scrapbooking, and I think I'm pretty sure now that Michelle's done a scrapbook special and Debbie's done a scrapbook special. I couldn't tell you when, I'm really sorry, but I know that they've done their own take on scrapbooking.
You'll be able to search for it over on YouTube or the website, absolutely. Ellen says, I love all the stamp collections and now they're in a binder. You don't have to go searching for the right stamp for your projects. They're all on hand for you.
Exactly.
And the binders are so pretty too.
Exactly. Do you know, that is a perfect review of
It is, isn't it?
exactly why you need that. So thank you. Did you say that was Lillian?
It was Eleanor.
Eleanor, thank you, Eleanor, for sharing that, because sometimes I think, you know, we can talk about these things and we can give you our reasons why we love them. But what I think is really refreshing is when you guys let us know as well, because it is refreshing to hear what other people think and not just our opinions. And it's refreshing when exactly what she's just said is spot on. Absolutely spot on, the reason why. Now, I've put my little texture piece down there, but I am going to lay my photo over to the top. Now, I would use, but this is going to be going in my scrapbook page, so I'm not going to worry too much, but I would use the photo glue. Now, photo glue is available because this is a proper photo print that I had developed. So I would use photo glue, which is the perfect glue for your photos in your scrapbooks, because it's got no, it's the, and it is available on the website. Johnny, would you have a little peek for me?
We will have a little look-see.
I'm making it work again. Ever so sorry, Johnny, but just so you can have a look. Because I haven't got any in the studio to show you, but it's perfect for anybody who loves scrapbooking.
It is in stock.
So it's a photo glue, so that's the one that I would use for my scrapbook pages.
And that just means it's not going to damage your photo.
It's not going to
anyway,
damage your photo, yeah, exactly that. That's the whole reason behind it, which is why I would have used that, but I haven't got any with me today. So that's my little layout that's going to go onto there, and I'm going to give it a little, again, I'm going to give it a little angle. I can use now, though, my all-purpose glue for this, or I could raise it if I wanted, but it is going in my scrapbook. I've been doing lots of scrapbook pages of late.
Funny how you go through phases with things, isn't it? Even in craft.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, and I've got one that the grandkids did for me, and this is going into that said scrapbook. Now, I have got, like I said, choose the ones that you want to use. So let me just bring in, let's go it through. So again, all I've done with this one is I've taken the ink and I've gone around the outside and just given it a little lift. Now, this is the pine tree one, but the one I did at home was the grasshopper, and I'll show you in a second. Because I feel that this one's just a tad too dark, but I'll show you just how you can just take your inks and add a little bit of extra lift. Softens the edge as well, because sometimes the white can be quite stark and quite a bit too stark. You want to soften it a little bit. So just by taking your inks, your distress ink pads, and tickling around the outside, you've got a nice softer version now. Again, please excuse my hands, turn it that way. It just softens it and gives it a little bit of a framing. So all I've done with this though, Joe, is I've got a few that I've got here because, again, I've got the love. Because I had a little faux pas trying to thread it, I've actually got a little bit end missing, but I thought, you know what, it doesn't matter because I'm going to put my true love over there, so it doesn't matter with that one. Again, don't be throwing anything. You can always, if you do get a bit heavy-handed like me, you can always take those little ends off. So I'm going to put this on. I'm going to just place them around before I actually stick them on, because all of me loves all of you. I'm going to put on. I'm going to add some more into there though as well. So what else have I got on here? Well, yeah, I'm going to have to put another you on there, aren't I? You make the world a better place. Bet, I did say I was going to mix and match. Now, I did have, let me go in and find my
Michelle says
ones.
that she looks like you, your daughter.
Oh, thank you. She's my youngest daughter. Isn't she beautiful? Absolutely gorgeous girl she is. Oh, here we go. Mixing up some of the other ones that I've got. So there's loads of others. You can see I've just had a little delve into me thing for family, where life begins and love never ends. That's another one that could go on there. Surrounding you with love could pop on there. Family is where the heart is. I think I'm going to go with that one because I quite like that one. Oh no, actually look, no. Family is the gift that lasts forever. This is from your original kit. So this is from your original Say It With Style binder. So I could use that one as well. So very thankful because I am. The best things in life aren't things.
That's cute, isn't it?
It's family for me. It's not possessions, never will be, at all. Never, ever, ever will be.
Mine would be the best thing in life aren't things. It would be Eurovision, Debbie. There you go. That'd be mine.
Right, I'm just going to go and have a quick... I just need a second, George, because I want to try and find a grasshopper colour.
No problem whatsoever.
So just be a second, just to touch up these edges here.
You go and grab that. Carla says I need to get mine out to use for a card I'm working on. Absolutely. Remember the brand new launch. It is the expansion pack really for You'll Say It With Style, and it's all about you. That's what we are looking at. Remember what you're getting in here then. You're getting card blanks and envelopes, the card panels which are going to be stamp onto, or the stamp panels I should say, 2 big A5 stamps, the die and also the ribbon in there. It's brilliant, brilliant value for money when you break it down as to what you're getting in the box. And Platinum members under £20 or $24, really, really busy on this at the moment. Easy to see why, because so many of you own already the original Say It With Style, and so many of you talking about how much you absolutely love it. I think it'll sort of change the way, you know, maybe some people, Debbie, when they're crafting, thinking, oh gosh, I'm nearly at the end now, I've got to try and find a sentiment that's going to work for this. It just removes all that stress, doesn't it?
Absolutely, it does. That's exactly, you know, you've hit the nail on the head there. It removes that stress away because you've got all of the sentiments that you can think of. And if you've got the whole binder, if you've got everything, including today's latest add-on, honestly, you're covered. Absolutely. 110% covered for absolutely every occasion that I can think of, and I do mean that genuinely because it's one of those. I'm going to say it again. I might sound like a broken record, but I think every crafter should have something like this in their stash, so that you've got them to hand that you can then use to, like I said, personalise with, you know, things that you have already got, collections that you've already got. And I genuinely mean it. I think, you know, it's well worth having this in your crafty stash. Genuinely mean that, because you'll never ever go wrong having this. Now I'm just going to finish that off for a second, just for 2 minutes. I'll just bring this in and start sticking these down. Now I've already put foam pads on some of these. I've already put twine through some of them as well. I'm just going to add the extra pieces on. Where's my poker tool? There it is. Let's pop this down. So again, I'm just going to lay that one flat. Tape. Lay that flat, love, because they really are my true love, as of all my kids, all my family, all my kids are. Again, let's just take this off. We'll put the loo down in a second. So again, just picking off all my little pieces. Oh, come on, you little devil. That's because
What's the littlest one? Is it Ezra, the littlest one?
You want to know?
Ezra, is it the littlest
Ezra,
one?
yeah. Ezra and Sapphire, and then Tash. All of me loves all of you. Might have the green one up there though, actually. I'm debating. Let me just pop me dotty tape pen over that one. But yeah, I can't wait to get this one in Scrapbook. I love. Oh my days. What on earth is going off in here today? I am really struggling with my tape pens. I say my tape pens, studio tape pens. I think that's because we use them every single time. All of us use them in here, and we tend to use the studio ones rather than our own. Bit naughty, but
hopefully we're going to restock those tape pens soon, because everyone's getting
yeah,
perilously
fingers
low.
crossed they'll be with us soon. Yeah, absolutely. Now I'm just going to place this on. Let's just make sure I've got it nice and straight before I decide to sit it down. There we go. Just going to position that into place. Yeah, perfect. Put some more foam pads on the back. Let's get rid of the foam pads. How are we doing for time, producer Johnny?
Yeah, we're doing all right. Got about 5 minutes. Oh, hello, broke the iPad. We've got a vote to do at the end there.
Okay,
I'm breaking everything today. I'm very destructive today, Debbie. I don't know what's going on.
What have you been doing? Have you been dropping things?
I keep breaking and dropping everything. Ella says, I wanted to learn how to make a scrapbook page. I've never done one before. And all these pictures of myself and my oldest brother when we were younger. I lived in New Jersey, going to the local pools. I think all these pictures look good with a story being told when I really need to learn this. There you are. Well, you were saying there's been some scrapbooking masterclasses, Debbie. So go back and find those.
Yeah, absolutely. They'll still be on Crafters TV. In fact, perhaps just type that into. And now I know Pam's been doing a lot of cataloguing for us, hasn't she? Pam Craven.
Yeah.
She's been doing a lot of cataloguing of the shows. So just keep your eye open on the pages. But yes, we've had a couple. I think Michelle. I'm pretty sure it was Michelle and Debbie that have done a couple of the classes. I tend to try and bring them into demos now and again. I don't do it, masses of them, but again, it's something that I love personally at home when I'm crafting to add to, and maybe let's just have a little.
YouTube's always a good place to find them.
Yes, it is. Yeah,
playlists, aren't there? They're the different show types then, so you can go and click on the masterclass and then go through all the different masterclasses that are there.
There literally is no
right or wrong. Makes it a bit easier to find what you're looking for.
Yeah, no right or wrong when it comes to scrapbooking. It's about layouts, it's about having a play, having a little position and reposition of things when you use, you know, when you're popping them down. So I tend to lay it out, have a little play, and like I said, sometimes you can keep them really simple because cardstock and everything else will really make a difference when you're using them. I'm just going to put that there because you make the world a better place. They absolutely do. And there you go. I'm going to add the rest. I'll titivate it up later. That's going to go into the scrapbook page. But this is the thing. This is a sentiment collection. This is making sentiments, banners really easy. You've got the addition of the you and the love in this die set, but absolutely you can use scrap layouts, you can do cards. It's the finishing touches to any of your projects that you do at home. It might be collections that you've got in the past that you just want to say something extra with, but everything that I can think of that's not just saying it with style, every kind of thing that's got a nice twist on words or a nice sentiment behind them for all different occasions are in that Say It With Style folder, including today, that all of you, if you've got that already, today is an absolute and essential must-have to build on your collection and to add in more into your sentiment crafty sash.
Absolutely, it is. Right, we're going to do card of the show then, Debbie. I'll show you Sandra's two first. So this one here, let's call this one number 1, which is that Christmas tree, and we'll call this one number 2, which was the keyhole. And then Debbie, I know, has got hers over there as well. So,
so I forgot. Do you know, I completely forgot about this. Number 3 was we called it a triple point card, didn't we? But I call them crisscross cards. So that's number 3, and then just finished off my little scrapbook page, number 4. So 1, 2, 3 or 4, you decide.
Brilliant. Let me take you back through then this collection, just give you an idea of some of the things that you're going to be able to do with it. A lot of love coming in for that scrapbook layout. And great as well with this one. Oh, hello, how rude. Great with this one, my folder just fell over. Great with this one that you've got the dies in there as well to give you that added element, which is wonderful. So again, you can see how you're going to put these together using the coloured papers which are included. Happy birthday to you, you make me smile, you are amazing, with all my love, with much love. I think we should do just a funny set of sentiments one day, which just says like things like, you've really gotten on my nerves, you've really upset me, I can't believe you did that. Do you think it'd be funny to do it? But I think we should do it. I think this would be the collection to do it in. I think that like, you've wound me up, I can't believe you did that. It could be stuff like, you never unload the dishwasher, why do you never take the bins out? I mean, I think it'd be a good funny set of stamps. This isn't that set though, I will add, of course, but what you are getting in here are the 2 A5 stamp sets. Remember, you're getting the twine, the dies, the ribbon, you're getting the stamp ink card, so you can stamp out your sentiments onto that. It's all perfectly sized and matched to work beautifully with your original Say It With Style collection. $24.99 or $29.95 today. None of you are paying that, are you? All getting some sort of club inspired discount, and platinum members under £20 or $24, which is brilliant. We've got some ink pads available for you as well. These are the quick dry ink pads that you are looking at. I'll take you through the ones we've got here. So you've got fuchsia, you've also got baby blue, baby blue. Then you've got your Chinese red, jet black. That one there is your parakeet, seal brown. That is your pine tree, smoked emerald, misty morning, and the orange. Demo of the show is number 4, Debbie.
Number 4.
The scrapbook, I believe, is it?
The scrapbook page, yeah?
Yeah.
How am I going to put it straight in my bag?
Oh, well, that's always the way. Scrapbook page then is that is the card of the show. Sarah says, Sarah and Shannon likes the idea of the sort of sarcastic, funny ones.
Yeah, might put that to Leanne and the team.
Yeah, I think so. Leanne is in tomorrow, a 3-hour cartload actually, which is brilliant. So come and join us both for that. Myself and Debbie, we'll see you in 1 short hour. We'll be back here with a Creative Craving, so we're very much looking forward to that. Debbie is the bread to our Sandra sandwich that we've got coming up for you, all things Sanntangle. Make sure you check out the Sanntangle items on the website, because very, very low stocks of a lot of those now. Debbie will be with me at 6 and 8, and of course we will have Sandra here at 7. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Which is 1 o'clock on the East Coast and 3 o'clock with Debbie, 2 p.m. on the East Coast with Sandra. Gosh, I don't know how we got through that. Just be back here in an hour, all right? Okay, see you then.